And here I was afraid that Twitter's link with my new profile picture was going to be stuck forever as the old avatar. It was not. So, there's that, there's this, and we will get started in like 2.5 minutes. Okay, get working on this last project in the tetralogy here, and then we'll be good. I need to move my mouse off of stop streaming so I don't accidentally click it in the middle of something and accidentally stop my stream. There we go. What's the volume at? Oh, not high enough. Okay. Hey, John. Thank you for resubscribing. 20 months. That would be... let me look up the prefix for 20. You are whatever that is, chromatic. But thanks for resubscribing, man. I appreciate it. Prefix for 20. Not enough. Latin prefix is vigentichromatic. Greek prefix is icosochromatic. So you pick, and I will use that one. It's vigentichromatic or icosochromatic. I personally like the sound of icosochromatic myself, but you pick, and that's the one I'll use. ICOSI, and then the word chromatic, CHROMATIC. Yeah, Greek for sure, absolutely. Wonder if it has anything to do with Icarus. Probably. Not enough, you've missed a few months there. Don't worry about it, John. I just appreciate that you come here. Come back to give me that extra little bit of money every month that you do come back. I appreciate it. How you been, man? It's been a little while. We're just chugging right along here. I'm on the 4th of 4 small projects in between 2 RPGs that I've been playing recently. So this one here will take probably about 2, maybe 3 streams to beat at the most, and then we'll be moving on to another larger game. Again, because I like to spread it out like that, you know, play a longer game, more RPG focused, then play a shorter game with more of an action focus, just to keep things fresh. So, been good. Just started a new job with the bank you've been at. So now you're working from home. Oh, nice, John. That's cool. I have worked at a, well, not a bank, a credit union, so I understand somewhat the ins and outs of that. Did you so you're working from home, so that means obviously you're not front-facing, so you're not like directly in the customer service, like the teller stuff and that sort of stuff. So are you working as maybe like an MSR, or are you working in like on the upper level stuff? What's the I hate to pry, but what's the occupation that you got there? Hey, Lifeblood, how's it going? Welcome. Took you long enough. I already thought today wasn't going to happen. Well, unfortunately, usually what happens is about 4 o'clock my father and my brother get home, and they can help me with getting my dog all set to take him out. Unfortunately, they were not here today yet, and they have not gotten here yet today. So on top of getting all of the stuff ready for the first video in this game's series, I also had to make sure the dog got fed and taken out. So it took a little bit, and I was about 7 minutes late, I think. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. Ain't gonna bug me. Working back office to the mortgage departments to process loans in the back end, make sure everything closed right. So you're a mortgage loan coordinator. Okay, gotcha. Nice. Sounds like a pretty good job. I think that both the bank and the people that are involved with you will appreciate it. And I mean, I know your work ethic, man. You got a good work ethic, so I think you'll go far with it. So good luck with it. Hopefully it all works out pretty good. You get some good money out of it. You help people out with their mortgages. So yeah, good luck with it, man. Hope it all goes well. It has been more than 2.5 minutes. I think we should get started. Let me take another drink just for safety. Keep the back of my throat nice and hydrated, because you never know when a little bit of air will catch in the back, and that will ruin the entirety of this public speaking segment. I almost just ruined it by not knowing how to say the word public. Let's get started. Oh boy. It's gonna be one of those days today, isn't it, where I'm gonna, like, have my slippers on. It's gonna be too hot. I'm gonna take them off. It's gonna be too cold. I can't win. Oh well. See, I'm so used to A Crack in Time having that little bit of music in the background at the beginning of it that this one just sort of freaking me out a little bit by not having anything. A loading screen in my Ratchet & Clank game? Nah, this is not happening. No, it's not really all that. Usually it just loads like a little bit and then it stops. And to be fair, there were loading screens in A Crack in Time too when they had that Galactic Trivia going on. But how you doing, everybody? My name is Monochromium, and we are continuing today with my coverage of the Ratchet & Clank Future Tetralogy by playing the final game in the series, Into the Nexus. You'll notice they dropped the Future prefix, but this is still considered in the Future series. It's kind of an epilogue to the series, essentially. It's kind of almost like a DLC for A Crack in Time, considering its short length, but it's run in an entirely different engine, unlike Quest for Booty. We'll talk more about the engine in a little while, but for now, let's get started. I'm not going to sign into my PlayStation Network. Why would I even want to do that? This game is single player. What the fuck? Let's see. I think there's a couple of options I want to change around here a little bit, if I remember correctly, as well. Brightness, I want to turn up a little bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't even see the Q-Force logo that's supposed to be in that white box on the side there. It's supposed to... You're supposed to be able to see one and then another. Like, if I turn this up just a little more, you can actually see it a little better on the stream. You're supposed to see the one on the left, the one in the middle, and then there's supposed to be one on the right, but I don't even know where the hell it is. Like, I could turn this all the way up. I can't even see it. You could turn it all the way down. And I can't even see it, so... let me reset that and then put it one up. There we go. That should be good. Probably turn that down a little bit, turn that down a little bit, and then dialogue and movie volume is fine. Definitely keep the subtitles on so I can see what everybody's saying. I think this game actually does something that I've been wanting the Future series to do for a while, which is have subtitles for people that are bantering in the background while you're in the middle of gameplay. Because before, of course, I couldn't hear anybody who's, you know, talking if there wasn't any subtitles, so now there will be. So thankfully that's a good thing. Good thing right off the bat, I suppose. Let's see. We can keep the help text on. We don't need inverts. I don't need lock strafe. Auto aim. So this game's got aim assist, and I use that term incredibly loosely because it's not really aim assist. Actually, what this is every time you press the aim down sight button, it'll automatically pull the camera towards the closest enemy. And I'm actually going to leave it on in this game. Normally, I'm against aim assist in a video game because I prefer to just aim on my own merits, but this game's aim assist, when it's off, like the actual aim from the character is so funky that it's really hard to get used to because it's not in first person. It's in like this weird above the character, over the shoulder perspective, but the character has the gun in their right hand, so it comes from the right side. It's not coming from the center. It's hard to explain, but I can probably explain it a little better in gameplay. So we'll see if I can talk about it once we get that far. Ratchet & Clank to start, yeah, round 4 of this game's, this series, yeah. Ratchet & Clank to start with 0 bolts, despite ending multiple games as a rich dude. Sometimes the best comedy game is hidden in dialogue between two normal enemies. Yeah, and that's why I want the subtitles in there, and that's why I've been asking for them. So I'm glad that they finally did them, so... Yeah, I don't know what happens to their bolts. Maybe they just use them all up in between. To be fair, this game actually takes place several years after A Crack in Time, so there is room for them to have spent all of their hard-earned adventuring money in this one. A little more actually possible in this one, I suppose, than the other ones. So this game also has easy, normal, and hard difficulty. It has the same problem as Quest for Booty, though, where hard difficulty, or rather in this case it's called Legend difficulty, does nothing other than making the enemies incredibly bullet spongy, and I don't even think it makes you particularly weaker. It just makes the battles take longer because all the enemies take like 7 bazillion shots to kill. And that's not really interesting, so I'm just going to play it on hero mode because there isn't really... if something's going to do something on hard difficulty, like if I'm going to play it on hard difficulty, I would rather you do something with it other than just enemies are more bullet spongy, because that's not difficulty, that's just boredom. So we'll just play on hero, and we'll be fine. Today's text appearing really fast on screen. I wonder if, because I have it on low latency, so there's a possibility that it's showing up quicker than usual. Maybe I have a good connection today. I don't know. Something's different. Maybe it's on Twitch's end. Maybe it's on my end. Maybe my internet company stopped throttling me for once. That'd be nice. But yeah, you can already tell that this is a little bit of a different beast than the Crack in Time, just by looking at the graphical fidelity. They went for more of a cel-shaded look with this one.
We must have picked up some Terra tropes when we flew through the asteroid belt. What do you think?
Ratchet?
Yeah, kinda hard to see back here.
I believe we simply need to recouple the ion converter.
All right, let's get to it.
Sounds easy enough. Those magna boots work pretty well, don't they? Wow. I guess these aren't magnetized, though. That kind of might be a little bit hard to work with. Longer battles means more mistakes, which makes it harder. Yeah, and that's not really... Again, that's not difficulty in my book. Difficulty implies more enemy aggression, implies different enemy tactics. If it feels organic, I'm usually on board. If it doesn't feel organic, I'm usually not. So.
I laughed the first time I did that.
I found it to be quite humorous.
Thanks, Clank. Our sensors picked up some sort of rupture in the Deck 3 power grid. Everything okay?
Yeah, minor power fluctuation. Whoops.
Then you'd better take her out of cryosleep now. The faster you turn her over to the Vartax guards, the better.
Oh, are you worried about us?
Vendra Prague isn't like the other criminals we faced. She's cold and empty in a way I've never seen.
As opposed to Nefarious, who was cold and glass half empty, and that doesn't go for his outlook on life. That goes for his bolts, for lack of a better word, being loose. Hey, Ghost Hand, how's it going? Welcome. This game's really fun, but it's ridiculously short and badly paced. It's like 3.5 hours. Yes, and that is the worst part about Into the Nexus, is that it's too short. And that is where the bulk of its problems come from, as we'll explain as we play. The other problem that I personally have with it, you may have noticed just from watching the cutscene, it's not 60 FPS. It's hard capped at 30, if I recall correctly, which is really weird for this series, because normally it's pretty high fidelity at 60 FPS no matter what, but I don't know. Whatever they were thinking. Again, they were going for more of a cel-shaded look, and I think in the process of doing that, they wanted to go for more cinematic qualities, too. And, you know, more power to them, whatever they want to do, but it's going to feel a little clunky, I think, because of the fact that it's in 60, or not in 60 FPS. At least that's my personal take. I don't know if anybody else would agree, but I think that it being at 30 just feels a little odd. Hey, the plumber's back.
Hello there.
What's up?
Now I hear you're escorting Vendra Prague to the Hooskow.
Something like that.
She's a mean...
Sounds like a Scooby-Doo villain. Yeah, that's not actually that far off, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm just here picking up some contract work between toilets. A lot of stuff around here needs fixing.
Well, you can thank Crunk and Zephyr for that one. Okay, well, the plumber's along for the ride, so that'll be fun, I'm sure. Maybe he'll, Oop, I think I just broke something else, sorry.
Yeah,
More
great.
contract work for him.
Put these here.
Well, I guess we'll take care of them, won't we?
Oh,
There
look how
we go.
cute they are. We should wake them up gently.
I'd love to, but unfortunately, if I lightly tap the control stick, this game makes me run at this pace. Like, I don't know, that just looks odd to me, but whatever. Okay, gently. Wake up. There you go.
What's happening? Are we under attack?
Nope.
Hey, Zeph. Sleep well?
Now for your friend.
Yeah. What is it? Is Tachyon back?
Oh boy, I hope not.
Will you look at that lazy scrap heap? Always snoring. Wake him up, would you?
Oh, I
Rise and
did.
shine,
Don't
fellas.
worry.
It's time to wake up Vendra Prague.
Do we have to? That space witch is bad news, I tell you.
Well, Talwyn seems to think it's a good idea, but I'm not sure if I'm on board.
To the authorities. Now, come on.
I mean, can't we turn her over as a popsicle? Wouldn't that be
Kidnapping all
easier?
them Terragnoids, hurting all those helpless citizens. For shame.
Your favorite, slow running. Oh, yeah. The frame rate goes to crap even with the 30 cap. It was probably because they were trying to push the then 8-year-old PS3's tech beyond its limit. That's true. Yeah, that's also true. It's a little bit unfortunate, but, I mean, I can kind of... They were trying to go, again, for more of a cinematic quality, and, I mean, this game looks really good for the PS3 days. It's just... I think they tried to do a little too much with it when I would have preferred worse graphics in exchange for 60 FPS pretty consistently.
Deactivating cryosleep on prisoner 9971. Prague. Vendra. Please stand by.
I'm a little concerned about this.
Fluctuation detected.
And now I'm a lot concerned about this.
What's happening?
What do you think is happening? She's a space witch
This was a bad idea.
who happens to be in captivity right now. Oh, that's a problem. Whoa. Well, that's just great.
Everyone okay? Where are you guys?
I'm here, Rook.
I see ya. Hang on, Kronk. Zeph, are you in here?
Hang in there, unfortunately. That's the best I can do, considering,
Must
you
find
know...
a magnetic surface for the grav boots.
Look
No,
to
don't
your
worry about
right,
that. I
Rook.
think I can get that.
Should be one over there.
I see it.
Eh.
Better get to the containment wing and make sure Vendra's locks are still engaged. You guys gonna be okay?
We'll be fine. You go ahead. Kronk and I'll work on restoring gravity.
Perfect. So we'll just split the job. So the Magna Boots are an old standby in this series, but in Into the Nexus and beyond, you can actually aim between magnetic surfaces and boost yourself over to them, which is actually kind of nice. It's pretty decent for platforming's sake. And there are some decent set pieces that they use them for in this game. I'm going to go slow for this part, but you can actually fast fall onto a magnetic surface by just mashing the X button, and it'll just blast you directly to it. That'll be useful later, especially when we have to do some high-speed platforming with the Magna Boots going, so... They also changed the controls up a little bit in this one, and that's why I've been telling you, hey, if you haven't been firing with the R1 button, you should get used to it, because in this game you can't fire your guns with the circle button. You can only fire them with the R1 button, so... Yeah,
We will need
they
to
were
do
just,
something about
standardizing
those
it to normal
hydraulic locks.
FPSs of the
Omni
day,
Blaster should take care of
and
'em.
every shooter on the market of the day, so... Okay, but we've got some hydraulic locks that apparently they're going to have to fix, so... There you go, more contract work for the plumber, I suppose. I'll take this, thank you. But yeah, we start the game with a couple of different weapons. We start with just one. There's another one that we'll get in a little bit here in the first level. We start with the Omni Blaster, and unlike most Ratchet & Clank games, I'm actually going to use the blaster in this one, because it's actually still terrible, but, well, you'll see why in a minute. Okay, if I could avoid getting sucked out into the vacuum of space, that would be a good... Okay. Well, I'm free. Free falling. I can't make music references. This game already does that. We'll talk about that when we get there.
You okay?
Yeah, just floating along.
We're good. I think it's safe to say Vendra's proton field is down.
I don't think we should have woken her up, Rook. What she can do, boy, it's not normal.
That's what I was saying.
Keep that gravity generator running. Clank and I can handle a few asteroids.
Yeah, if you guys get gravity restored, we should be in good shape. So. How will they restore gravity? I would assume that's what you're saying. How will they do that? Well, probably just float along and then try to get the gravity field generator back up. I'm sure they've got some sort of field generator for it. So, It's a great side story, miles better than the movie tie-in one, but still crazy how they managed to make Rift Apart run at 60 looking as good as it does. You know, it's funny that you mention Rift Apart, because Rift Apart to me, I've seen the whole thing at this point. Rift Apart to me feels like this game, except given, like, the full gamut of normal playtime for a Ratchet & Clank game. As a matter of fact, Rift Apart is even longer than almost every other Ratchet & Clank game out there. It feels like they took a lot of what they learned in this one, and then they set it into motion in Rift Apart, so... And, I mean, this game has a few little problems that I personally have with it. Again, the main thing is that the game is too short. But, I don't know, I think it's going to be a difficult choice between this and, Well, I thought a little bit more about why I'm so unsure about A Crack in Time being, whether or not I think it's as good as I remember it being. And I'll talk about it a little bit as we play this game. But for now, we gotta get through this here. I got it.
Nice work. Okay, get ready for the next one.
I'm ready. I'm a little steamed, but stop steaming up my tail.
Thruster 2. Now.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, last thruster. You're heading in the wrong
Wasn't sure if my blaster was going to shoot there. It wasn't running hot, apparently. It was running lukewarm.
Come on, F5. F5.
Why do we even still have that button in the future? Well, anyway.
We're clear. Thanks, guys. See? No sweat.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I guess she's giving us just a small little obstacle course to take care of as a little going away present? I don't know. Something like that, I guess. See if we can grab these while we're here. Kind of hard to see them, to be honest, the crates and stuff. I suppose I could walk forward and the lights could get turned on, and that would help a little bit.
Airlock secure.
Let's see, I think I got most of them.
Hello, Ratchet.
Hello, disembodied
She's tapped
voice.
into the PA system.
How? There's no power.
That is a good question.
You really shouldn't have woken me up, but I'm glad you did.
Yeah, Alt F4 instead.
We can have some fun before
Yeah, the skybox was pretty cool, yeah. Like you said there, they really pushed this game to the limit when it came to the graphical fidelity, I think, of the PS3. The only problem with Rift Apart is you didn't care much for Rivet. She's fine, but you like Ratchet & Clank's dynamic more. My personal take on Rift Apart is that I don't think that they did enough with Ratchet's character in Rift Apart. And as a matter of fact, I feel like in some ways they made him go not down, backwards. Oh, it's the elevator. Bye, Vendra! As if I'm not some sort of veteran that expected that to happen. Come on, Vendra, you're gonna have to do better than that.
Now that's no fun. Oh well. I'll just have to think of a few new ways to kill you.
You come up with any, you might want to tell my old enemies about them, because they sure aren't having any easy times doing it. But, yeah, I didn't really... I don't think they do enough with Ratchet. I feel like he should have been more of like a mentor character in Rift Apart, but they kind of regressed his character back so that he's like... He's weirdly unsure about himself in Rift Apart, and it just kind of is a little off-putting, to be honest. Oh, right. Am I stuck to the thing? I am stuck to the thing, hold on. How do I get off? Let me go back, and then forward. And then, oh, I guess I just go this way, don't I? I'm thinking I can just walk along, but we don't have gravity, so of course I can't walk along. Why would I be able to do that? How does the magic witch hack into the machine which has no electricity? Gee, I wonder how. Well, her magic appears to have some sort of electrical function to it, so maybe that's part of it? I really wish you wouldn't. I'd rather not have to kill these maintenance bots, although maybe they've got all my tools that I misplaced. So. Well, anyway, that's a waste of bolts, I guess, but oh well. What can you do? Already breaking stuff on the ship even when she wasn't taking over the power functions, so.
Please stand
hello.
clear of the prisoner.
How about you stand clear of me with these robots? Good lord. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, there's the prisoner. Alright, Vendor, you gotta stop this shit. The containment field can't be breached without us breaching it ourselves.
We made it. Come on in.
The water's fine. What
We
water?
will need those battery bots in order to restore the proton field.
Then let's go get him, shall we?
Do you always listen to what your little robot has to say?
I sure do. He's never wrong.
We're just here for the proton field.
You're not afraid of little old me, are you? Not after all you've done.
Why would I be afraid of you?
Too easy. Let's have
I just want this to go simply. I'm trying to actually take my work seriously, Vendra. Then again, you might not know anything about that, would you? Whoops. Let me go over there real quick and then toss the wrench out. Oh, okay. Fine. I'll try again. I just wish the controls would actually work with me. There we go. I don't know where the little spot is, so I'm gonna look for it. Oh, there it is.
proton field restored.
Maintenance bots, how dangerous? A really dangerous criminal or an idiot?
Good job, Rookie.
Well, she's a dangerous criminal, but, well, we'll talk about why in a little bit. Her space magic is pretty powerful, and I guess that's why she's dangerous, but
Bye, Ratchet. I'll see you soon.
sure you will. Well, anyway, we gotta get some power restored, and I think they said there's a little bit of a, like, we can help them restore power by going outside, so we're gonna go do that right now. But first,
Hey, I see you found a piece of the hollow plan for the Rhino 7. Oh,
there's a Rhino 7 now?
I split it up into pieces to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Little inconvenient, but probably a good idea. But yeah, apparently this time the plumber is working on the Rhino plans instead of the smuggler. So, I don't know, I probably trust the plumber a little more with the plans for the Rhino than I do with the smuggler. I just never trusted him enough to actually bother giving the smuggler the plans, or finding them all for myself, mostly because they weren't necessary. They aren't necessary in this game either, but...
Excelsior! Good going, Rookie. Gravity is restored.
Hey Marie, how's it going? Welcome. What happened to 6? Did you miss something? Rhino 6 is in All for One, actually. So it's the robot suit in All for One that you get near the end of the game if you've been collecting all the... Is there holo plans in that one? I forget. It's been so long since I played All for One, but that's where that one is. Guess we played these games a little out of order, didn't we?
Sir, we are within striking distance of the Nebulorks.
Oh boy.
Fire Omni rockets on my mark.
This guy got a dingo dial helping him out.
2, 1, mark.
Seriously, guys?
Oops, wrong button.
Why would you even have that song? This is supposed to be a faraway galaxy. They do that a lot now, though. Like, there's at least one fully copyrighted song that I will probably have to mute, starting from A Crack in Time on. Like, they have this other 80s song in Rift Apart that's really weirdly placed, and then they've got this one. It's like, what?
It looks like he's hired thugs for less.
Oh, great. When did the thugs become Australian?
Bring Vendra.
Maybe it's just the Polaris Galaxies version.
And stop them.
So yeah, returning from going commando are the thugs for less. Unfortunately, they keep returning, but they also keep having their voices change. Must have had the same problem that Sparks did back in the Legend of Spyro games.
Airlock secure.
Okay, well anyway, the gravity's restored at least, so that means I can actually walk around on the ship, so that's good, I suppose. You know, it would be a plot twist in the game when the criminal you take care of in a game is actually staying contained. Damn straight, I love that humor. I feel like the humor is very weak in this one, not as bad as the reboot, though. I think this one's more of a serious game, to be honest. It's kind of funky for a Ratchet & Clank game. I don't mind it, personally, being a little more serious, but the humor is a little bit more sparse, I suppose. It's placed less frequently than it was in previous games. Here's our other weapon, the Fusion Grenade, making a return from Tools of Destruction, now called the Fusion Grenade Glove, but it's still pretty powerful, and as a matter of fact, it's probably more powerful in this one than it is in Tools of Destruction and Quest for Booty, so Yeah, we'll be using it. Namely for that sort of a reason. Because it's nice at AoE targeting, and it also is pretty powerful, so it'll work pretty good on larger enemies. Unlike the Omni Blaster, which is still shit, but I'm still gonna use it.
Take me to my brother. The rest of you stay here and make sure we are.
We weren't even gone for long. What did you miss? Everything. Oh, Nefton Prague, who just happens to be Vendor Prague's brother, as in the brother of the criminal that is now escaping from the ship, broke her out, and now we have to fight the thugs for less, and we got the fusion grenade in the process, so. We now know the meaning of life. You missed it. How sad. Oh, we knew the meaning of life at the end of Digital Devil Saga 2, so Marie didn't miss that part. Oops. I don't think one fusion grenade kills those guys, now that I think about it, so... A little unfortunate, but that's okay. About 4 shots kills them from the Omni Blaster on this mode. So. But yeah, see how the bullets kind of curve a little bit because of the auto-aim that I have on? More similar to how it is in the rest of the series when it curves like that, because in the rest of the series you kind of have that aim assist unlocked automatically. If I didn't have it on, though, the bullets... Well, okay, so the targeting reticle is in the center of the screen, but Ratchet's gun is in his right hand, and most of his guns are focused on his right hand, which means that when he fires at the reticle, it's actually going to curve slightly from his right hand to the reticle. It's not going to fire straight on at the reticle, which makes bullets slightly curve around enemies when you don't have auto-aim on. And that's a huge pain in the ass, so I'm just going to avoid that altogether by leaving it on. Well, then maybe you should get some nanotech of your own there, bro, if you don't think it's fair. At least I'm not using nanoswarmers. That would just be totally unfair. Hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? I already forgot why Quest for Booty was even important. Was it important? Quest for Booty is when they discovered why Clank was kidnapped at the end of Tools of Destruction. Yeah, it was a tie-in, essentially, that they probably could have solved by simply making a cinematic at the end of the credits in Tools of Destruction. At least that's what I think. I think they could have literally just stuck the the nefarious section at the end of Tools of Destruction, or in the middle of Quest for Booty. They could have just stuck that at the end of the credits of Tools of Destruction, and it would have had just the same old effect. You'll notice something, by the way, that just happened. You'll notice that I walked past some ammo of the Omni Blasters. I don't know if it's a good idea for you guys to be fighting them, but...
Wait for us to come back you up.
I don't know if they can hear us from here. But you'll notice that I walked past some ammo that I broke open for the Omni Blaster, but we already had full ammo. And that's another one of my gripes with this game, is that sometimes, matter of fact, it happens pretty often, they'll give you ammo for a gun that you're full on, while you're still running close to empty on another one. You know how I've been saying through the entire series so far that, yeah, they give you the ammo that you need at the time that you need it. This game is why I've been saying that, because this game does not do that. It just gives you whatever the fuck ammo it wants, even if you don't need it. So that's great, I guess. Adds a layer of challenge, I suppose. I mean, if that was something that hard mode did, like if on normal mode it didn't do that and it just gave you the ammo you needed, and then on hard mode it did that, then I'd be on board for hard mode, but yeah. That's just on all difficulties, unfortunately. Also, the Zoni weren't even evil. Thanks for that sequel bait in Tools of Destruction. Quest for Booty's pirate soundtrack is a treasure, though. Yeah, David Bergeau did a great job on the soundtrack in Quest for Booty. It was, as far as I know, his last Ratchet & Clank game that he composed the soundtrack for, so... Yeah, he did a solid job on it. Went all out with the pirate themes. Oh, okay. Well, goodbye. You could double jump over there, or you could single jump over here and grab more... Well, I was going to say treasure, but it's more bolts than treasure, I suppose. Alright, what gun do I have? Omni Blaster, and it's almost V2. Good. Sleepy AF. May actually have to sleep later. That's okay, Conker. If you gotta take a nap, go for it. Take a nap. Remember that we still need a sequel for Sly Cooper. Yeah, they haven't seen anything in Sly Cooper since Thieves in Time, right? I don't know. I wasn't really big on Sly Cooper, personally. I played the first one. It was one of the big three that I never really got involved in. I played all of the Jak and Daxter games in the original trilogy, and then I've played most of the Ratchet and Clank games at this point. But, yeah, Sly Cooper, I pretty much just played the Thievius Raccoonus, and that was it, so... Alright, well, they have fusion grenade ammo for me over there, so I will use it to my advantage. There you go. And then we'll swap. See, I think the game wants you to, like, swap weapons pretty often, because, oh, okay. It gives you a lot of ammo that you may not necessarily need, so because of that, keep switching weapons. It's probably a good idea. Unfortunately, we don't quite have a, what's it called yet? A, shotgun variety weapon, so we'll just have to make do with what we've got. Yeah. Gotta watch those bullets, man. Okay, we got a level up. The Omni Blaster is V2. In this game, weapons go up to V3. So, if you are wondering about the game's length, well, that should clue you into the fact that it's not very long, because we already have a V2 weapon in the first level, and they only go to V3. It's not really that uncommon, though, because if you think about it, even going all the way back to going Commando, the Lancer, if you were using the Lancer and the Gravity Bomb pretty much exclusively, you could upgrade the Lancer by the time you were done with the second planet, so... Yeah, not a whole, not really all that surprising, I suppose. Why do jetpack enemies always have to try to kill you with crashing when they die? Well, apparently they signed up for kamikaze tactics. I don't know, something like that. This guy's got a little bit of armor to him. He's also got some bombs that he can use against us, so that's fun. But yeah, see how that happened there? I've already got enough full fusion grenade ammo, and I know I hit them at the same time. I hit both the crates at the same time, and that's why it gave me those, but that's never been a problem before. It's never been a problem before in the series where it's just not giving you the ammo that you need when you need it. It always, like, checks for that before it gives you the ammo, and it's usually not been like a thing that you need to load for. It just happens. You can't even tell, you know what I mean? But in this game, it's a problem. And I have no idea why. It is one reason why I won't be getting a whole ton of weapons in this game, though, because, well, the game has a little bit of trouble. When you have a lot of weapons, the game has trouble giving you ammo with the ones you actually want it for, so... Wow, 6 months she's been in cryosleep. That's a long time. Yeah, gives you alpha cannon ammo. Last-ditch effort. Probably, yeah. Kamikaze attacks is a last-ditch a little bit.
6 whole months?
Ow.
This wasn't easy, you know. I had to bribe elected officials for the ship's location, coordinate a galaxy-wide crime wave, hire extra muscle.
You are the muscle! Or at least you're supposed to be.
One thing I definitely want to give this game credit for is the changeover to more cinematic cel-shaded quality for everything allowed them to be a lot more expressive with the characters in cutscenes, which is something I've been asking for a while, so that's nice.
A coward. Someone who lost the guts to find his race.
Do you even understand why I stopped looking? That might be a pertinent question to ask. Oh my god, they've captured my friends.
Give me the detonator.
They're just a couple of old warbots. Isn't killing everyone a little...
Reckless, unnecessary, evil. All three of these things, yes.
Goodbye, Ratchet.
Bye, not friend. Oh, that's a problem. Oh, that's a big problem. But then again, it wouldn't be a post-Mass Effect 2 sci-fi game unless the whole ship blew up with you on it. Take my hand! Sorry, guys, I can't rescue you while being blown out into the vacuum space. Oh my god, they killed Kronk and Zephyr in the opening act! Yeah, when I said this game was a little more serious, I meant it. They're actually dead, by the way. They are not coming back. We can't repair them. They've blown to smithereens at this point.
Gone, Ratchet. We are not safe out here. If we do not keep moving, the thugs will kill us.
Well, then I guess we better keep moving. You need to hire some better thugs. Maybe you should hire thugs for more instead. I hear they do a little bit better with the money. I would prefer if you didn't. Thank you. Eh. Oh, there we go. Wow. Got a little sneak attack going there. Not bad. Maybe they do have a little bit to them. Just only certain soldiers do. When did he put on that mask? About 10 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that after being vacuumed out into space. Are you ready to actually kamikaze? Not me. I wouldn't be ready to kamikaze if I'm in a group called Thugs for Less, I'll tell you what. You'd have to be paying me Thugs for More to do that, but I already made that joke, so. She used her ears. Yeah, I know. She's actually a remotely competent villain. Doesn't even have the O2 mask on. How's he breathing? Well, now he will. Yeah, it got put on in the cutscene, actually, like after he got blown out into space, so. Killing Ratchet like that is a good plan. Didn't work, though. Yeah, it's probably one of the more competent ways that people have tried to kill me, to be fair, so. Oh, that's not good. Eh. I would really wish that they wouldn't. Okay, here we go. I got it, Clank. I got it. I already expected them to be there. Remember, we've done this enough times at this point. This is like Tuesday to me, other than Kronk and Zephyr getting murdered. Why would you even give me fusion grenade ammo? Ah, I'm not using it. I'll get over it eventually, but just come on now. Like, what? Why would you do that? Just to make the game harder? Sure, why not? I'll take it. One of the good things, though, I will say about Into the Nexus, I have a lot of positive things to say about Into the Nexus, and one of the good things about it is that because the game is so laser-focused in terms of how it's got a short length, basically. It's only about, like Ghost Hand said, about 3.5, 4, maybe, we might even be here for 5 hours at the most. But because of its short length, it's laser-focused in its levels and its set pieces. So there's a lot of cinematic action that happens throughout the time that we're playing, and the levels themselves are pretty dynamic with interesting, like I said, set pieces and everything else, so. I don't, actually. He's correct. I'm gonna back up. Yeah, I see it. It's not going to get the chance to. Ooh, I see a grav ramp. Eh. Hang on, Clank. Should I target their weapon system? Oh, it's offline. Okay, cool. She needs to be better with magic, though. She did a good job, your magic not so, or else Ratchet would not have broken free from that. I mean, that's true, yeah. Maybe she can't project her magic after a certain, like, she gets to a certain point away from us. Okay, well, we got coordinates for a new planet, but we're not exactly piloting the ship to get there. I hope Aphelion's okay. Maybe we'll find out in Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus. Kronk and Zephyr are not okay, though. They're dead. Spoilers, he won't actually get over it. That's probably true. I'll probably be complaining about it until the end of the game. Seriously, you need to boot up your PS3 and look at your achievements. None of the Ratchet & Clank games you've played look the least bit familiar. I mean, I'd recommend going back for a few of them. They're not my favorite. Like I said, I like the classic trilogy better than the future tetralogy, but they're not bad. Let me out of this joint. There we go. Packing peanuts, really? And I guess they're ubiquitous no matter where you are in the galaxy. Why not?
Yes, I can.
You forget, I used to be a giant war mech.
should have told them to evacuate.
We cannot dwell on what we should have done. Some things are simply out of our control. Would you like me to tell her?
No. I'll do it.
Ratchet, are you okay? Your nav unit has you all the way in the Zarkov sector.
We lost them.
Yeah, well...
We lost Kronk and Zephyr.
You... lost them?
I'm so sorry. But Clank and I are going to stop them before they hurt anyone else.
Listen to me. Come back to Meridian City.
Tal...
Please. You and Clank. You're all I have left now.
I need to make this right. I'll keep you posted.
I will give this game flack occasionally for its frame rate and for its short length, but one thing that they really do well in this one is that the voice actors put on a fucking show, man. Like, all of the lines in this game are delivered incredibly poignantly to get kind of under your skin about this theme of loss that the game really latches onto and never lets go of. It's like a 5-hour-long game that really grapples with that theme, and it's a very serious theme for a Ratchet and Clank game, but I kind of dig it. I think it's an interesting take that the series can go through.
Means haunted. The president evacuated the entire sector practically overnight. And get this, Vendra and Neftin are listed among the evacuees.
Oh.
We have to find a way out of this valley.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That was kind of heavy. You aren't even an hour in. Yeah, I know. I kind of dig it, though. Like I said, it's an interesting new take for Ratchet & Clank to kind of take on this concept of loss that we have, because we've already lost 2 of our friends from the rest of the tetralogy. And then Talwyn comes on the thing and says, no, you actually can't do that. I don't want to lose you too. And it's like, no, but we have to, because if we don't, they will never be stopped and we'll lose a lot more people. So, and I think it's kind of, like I said, poignant for the end of the tetralogy, because at this point in time, Ratchet is kind of dealing with the fact that he's already, quote-unquote, lost a father figure not long ago. The ground just lost its footing. And he also potentially lost a chance to hunt for the Lombaxes, at least for now, so... is there a... Oh, there is stairs right over here. So there's a lot of loss that's been going around in the future tetralogy, and this game really, really latches onto it with its story. And I like it. I think it's an interesting take. There are still some humorous moments. It's a little bit lighthearted in some places, but it is more serious than your normal Ratchet & Clank game. But not in, like, the edgy teenage phase way that Deadlocked was, even though I love that. It's more of a telling it straight story. It's more of a mature story. And, I don't know, I kind of like it. I'm partial, I suppose. Okay, that's a problem. Why does that keep happening, anyway? What's with these little spirit things?
Did you see that?
See what?
Maybe I turned towards them before you could see them, but there are little wisps floating through the air. What is this, Sonic Colors? Is it R2 and X to do a long jump in this one? Let me see. Yeah, it is. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. You can just glide straight down there, but I want to do a long jump. You can actually see the big monkey betraying her for being way too big of a problem. I don't think he ever betrays her, if I recall correctly. But I don't want to get too heavy on the story spoilers. It's like a 5-hour game. We'll know soon enough. Hey, there's some Raritanium. And actually, this game does something else that I enjoy in terms of actually making Raritanium kind of rare. What a novel concept. It's right in the name. If you don't go for a whole ton of Raritanium upgrades for your weapons. We'll talk about that when we get to a vendor. Is there a vendor anywhere nearby? Oh, it's up there. Okay, we'll go see it in a minute. Don't remember the robots at all. You actually have no clue who they were. Yeah, they were in Tools of Destruction, yeah. They were Talwyn's bodyguards, essentially. But they got put on a bus in a crack in time, so we haven't seen them since Tools of Destruction.
Don't hurt me. I don't belong here. Pollux is the one you need.
No one leaves until the you-know-what has been completed, and the you-know-who have arrived. Yeah! Wait, who?
Me! Right on cue! Cool. Okay, well, there's thugs here, apparently. They must be investigating whatever these Terrachnoids are up to. Did they mention Pollux Industries? Man, that guy gets around. He's working with Nefarious in A Crack in Time. Now he's working with the Progs in this game? Crafty little bastard. Yeah, at least they had the high ground, yeah. Apparently, it wasn't high enough.
Here, take this grav tether as a token of my appreciation.
Oh, cool, thanks. What does it do?
Designed this grav tether to help him move around the planet.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to show you how to use it. It's a bit complicated for you primitive types.
Keep telling yourself that, man.
First, fire a grav blast on this grav target.
Okay. So yes, gadgets are hard-coded to the circle button in this game, so you'll fire your weapons with R1 and your gadgets with circle.
You're getting the hang of it. Now, shoot that grav target over there to create a grav stream.
Okay. Sounds easy enough.
You did it. Now just hop in and ride the grav stream to the other side.
I actually do like the grav tether. It's pretty on rails when you use it, but it's an interesting gadget that allows you to do a little bit of platforming challenges later. I also like the little musical mix that they have going in the background when you ride in it. That's pretty cool.
If you want to destroy a grav stream, just fire your grav tether at it.
Okay. That was pretty easy.
See? Even a single-brained organism can do it.
I can see that. Yeah, Terrachnoids apparently have, like, redundant brain systems. I think they have, like, at least 3 brains, if I recall correctly, so... That's why they're so smart, I guess. Again, I wish the game would go more in-depth with the anatomy and lore of that, but they can't really because this is a platformer and it's not really known for doing a lot of background explanation, unfortunately. But yeah, you can actually slow your movement or speed yourself up by moving the control stick while in the grav stream, so... You're welcome. Well, there goes my way out. Of course it is.
Thanks, Tal. I am surprised you are so quick to hop into a sewer.
Those two killed Kronk and Zephyr. I don't care where we have to go.
See what I mean? Like, normally a Ratchet & Clank would take the opportunity to make a joke about us having to go to the sewers there, or Ratchet would be, you know, the tired veteran adventurer. Ah, sewers again? But no. In this one, they go full in on the, nope, we have a duty, and we have to get revenge for Kronk and Zephyr's death, because they killed them for no reason, and it's not fair that they're dead. So, yeah, hello there. You can have multiple brains and still be dumb as dirt. See Pollux and most of his, the people that work for him. So, hey guys, how's it going?
Tal, this planet is crawling with thugs. Why would they set up patrols in a haunted sector?
Good question.
There's something else going on here. I'll see about getting you some backup. You just keep me informed.
Sounds like a plan. So there are actually multiple objectives on most of the planets that you go to in into the Nexus. If we look at the map here, you can see that there are 2 directions that we can go in here. We can explore the outpost to the left, or we can head to the right to enter the Ezreal Caverns to look for Pollux, and that'll take us up there eventually. So the split in the path is actually, it's a returning thing, of course, because most of the games back in Tools of Destruction, the rest of the future tetralogy, did not have split pathways. They simply had multiple challenges along the way with one major pathway. So it's a nice return to form, I think, because split pathways were kind of a staple of the series at this point. At least I think so. Alright, I'm going to go this way real quick before we look at the GrummelNet vendor, because if we go over here into the caverns slightly...
Oh boy, I think this place may have a slight cerathoid infestation.
That could be a problem. I don't know what a cerathoid is, but I do know how to get this raritanium. I said I do know how to get this raritanium. There we go. So yeah, I just wanted to grab the raritanium. We're not going to go to the Ezreal Caverns first. We're going to go explore the Thug Outpost. But having that raritanium will actually help us because we'll be able to use it for weapon upgrades like we did in Tools of Destruction. So let's take a look at what weapons we can upgrade.
Welcome to the GrummelNet Weapon Shop. Your go-to store for weapons, ammo, and upgrades.
Cool. So now we actually have access to a couple of new weapons in this one. They've got the fusion grenade makes a return, and then there's another weapon that... so the fusion grenade makes a return from Tools of Destruction and Quest for Booty. There's another weapon that actually makes a return from All for One in this game that we'll see later on. But most of the weapons in this game are completely new with a nice little spin on the normal stuff that we have. And when we start, we have access to a couple of different weapons we can use. The Temporal Repulsor is a temporal shotgun, so this is your standard shotgun of the game, but it has a little bit of a twist to it that we get as we upgrade it. And then there's the Nightmare Box, one of my favorite weapons in the series. Easily my second favorite turret weapon, aside from the... I would probably rate the Nano Swarmers over the Nightmare Box, but we'll get to that in a little bit. One nice thing that they have brought back from Up Your Arsenal is that inside of the weapons vendor, you can actually try the weapon that you want to buy in a weapon trial. So they'll give you access to the weapon, they'll tell you kind of what it does, and then they'll let you go hog wild with it, which I think is really nice. I actually really liked the ability to test weapons in Up Your Arsenal because it lets you play with stuff that you wouldn't normally know whether or not you'd want to buy. So then you could purchase them after you've given them a bit of a test drive. So that's nice. Temporal Repulsor itself is a pretty powerful shotgun. It's probably right up there with like the Constructo shotgun in terms of its raw strength, and it actually has nice utility later on once you upgrade it, because again, returning from Up Your Arsenal and you know, beyond that, the weapons not only have Raritanium upgrades in this one like they did in Tools of Destruction, they also change their form and function slightly as they upgrade from V1 to V2 to V3. So we will make use of that in just a little while.
A heavy-duty shotgun that uses quantum rounds to vanquish foes in style.
We'll check the Nightmare Box in a second. Let me read chat before I go from there. Let's see here. The gorilla even said that the detonator wasn't needed, so she was just kind of being a bitch. Yeah, and again, she was just being a villain at that point. She killed some people for no real reason, so... Different enemy groups fight each other, that's absolute gold. I like when that happens in games. It makes the world feel more alive, you know? Can't even look at PS3-related stuff online. Guess you need to boot up the PS3, oh boy. You shoot a shockwave, you are repulsing them. Oh my god, yeah. Appropriate name is appropriate. Alright, so now let's go look at the Nightmare Box. Oh my god, this weapon is so fucking cool.
Our party division developed it as a Halloween gag, but the ghouls kept attacking the scientists, so...
Oh.
Hey, we made it a weapon.
Fair enough. So you fire out the Nightmare Box in the middle of a bunch of enemies, and it spooks them! And that's about all it does for right now, unfortunately. It also behaves like the decoy glove from the previous Ratchet & Clank games, from the original and from Going Commando. Now, you can only have one out at a time, and it inflicts a large burst of damage that will actually deal pretty good damage even to medium-sized enemies when you use it against them. But it's not particularly for damage right now, it's mostly for distraction. We can change that, though, very, very quickly by using the Raritanium that we just got. And so since if it wasn't obvious which one of these two I'm going to buy first, it's going to be the Nightmare Box. Give me that right now. It's such a cool weapon. Oh my god. Okay, and then returning from Tools of Destruction, if we press R1, we can actually go to the upgrade screen. So there's Raritanium upgrades in this game, just like in Tools of Destruction. And this brings me to one of the points I wanted to make about a crack in time, but let's take a look at the upgrades that we have here. So again, the skill trees for Raritanium return from Tools of Destruction. So yeah, you can use your Raritanium to purchase some upgrades. You start at a certain point, and in this game, this is just the tutorializer, so this is just their tutorial for how to use this stuff. So, and then you can move down the path and begin an upgrade chain by pressing X. You can then highlight more nodes by moving the control stick around, and then once you're done, you can purchase upgrades by pressing X, and that will improve the weapon and finish out the chain. Once you cover an entire, like basically they'll have these green nodes, and once you cover every node around that green node adjacent to it, you'll unlock the special upgrade. In this case, it makes stuff hurt more. That's unnecessary because the tutorializer isn't a real weapon, but this just gives you an idea about what to expect when using stuff. So, but now we have access to 3 different weapons that we can upgrade, and in this particular case, I definitely want to start with the Nightmare Box. We want to get this green upgrade right here as soon as humanly possible, and we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly 5 Raritanium to get it, so let me do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, And there you go. Mystery upgrade unlocked. So this makes the Nightmare box even better than it was. It's a really necessary upgrade for this thing to be worthwhile for you to raise it. But once you get this upgrade, it makes it one of the best guns in the game by far. This allows the ghoul to spit corrosive acid at nearby enemies to deal damage, while also dealing the burst damage that it does when it starts out. So, yeah, it has a burst of damage when you shoot it out at first. It acts like the decoy glove, and it can attack enemies like the mini turret glove. This weapon is nuts, and I love it. But I'm definitely going to focus my Raritanium upgrades on the Nightmare box for now, because like I said before, Raritanium in this game is actually kind of rare. So we'll probably focus on that for a little while, and then we'll move to other weapons as we go. Going to try to hold off, I think, on a little bit of Raritanium as we go here, because we need, like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And also, there's more nodes, by the way, than just the ones you see here. The nodes that are locked up there in the top left and top right corner, you can only see them a little bit on the screen, but those will actually unlock as we upgrade the weapon from V1 to V2 to V3, so. But you won't be able to upgrade every weapon with all the Raritanium, because again, Raritanium in this game is pretty rare. If you want to upgrade every weapon, you're probably going to end up grinding in the end game, so. Yeah, we made a weapon, exactly. Is that a nefarious puppet? Something like that. It's ghouls and goblins and spooky things, so I guess somebody found nefarious spooky. Grumman, that guy even sounds like he doesn't know what to say about that weapon. It is kind of a little out there, I guess. I still love it, though. It's a fantastic turret weapon, and I definitely enjoy it way more than it probably should be. So. There are also different animations that the enemies have when the Nightmare box spooks them, as you'll see in a moment. Let's take a look when we use it on these enemies over here, because we're going to go to the little thug stronghold first. So, yeah, see how he got super spooked there, and then he holds his heart, and then only after a cooldown period, then he starts attacking the Nightmare. So it acts, like I said, like the decoy glove, while also exploding for damage and dealing damage with the corrosive acid spit now, so that's pretty good. It's a fantastic weapon. I enjoy it, and we will use it often in this game. It will be one of the first things we upgrade by all the way to V3 pretty easily. I'll probably get the Omni Blasters and maybe the Fusion Grenade there before it, but after that, it's all Nightmare box. Incidentally, because Raritanium is a little bit rare in this game, and because the game is so short, I will only be buying 2 more weapons in the entire game, actually. So our quick select will not be filled out by the end of the game. We've got these 2 for free. We just bought this one. I'm going to buy the Temporal Repulsor, and then we'll be getting 1 extra weapon after that one. And that'll be it, actually. Then there's another weapon that we'll get for free later that I'll use as well, but that's it. We're only going to use a total of, what is that, 6 weapons? Yeah, 6 weapons by the end game, because, again, Raritanium is rare, so I won't be able to upgrade everything unless I lower my amount of weapons used. And the game is so short that I might not even get everything to V3 if I don't do that, so. Alright, so let's help out my ghoul by blasting the enemies. He doesn't have the best health for right now, so he'll last a little bit, but not very long, so you'll have to start tossing him back out again. But later on in the game, once you get a bunch of Raritanium upgrades for him, he'll last quite a long time out on the battlefield, so. Oops, that's cover. I don't want to blast my cover. I don't want my cover to be destructive. Are you sure? I love the sound effect that plays as well when he comes out, too. It's very, like, stock, but it's just so fitting for something so powerful, you know? Alright, well, this guy's on a turret, and we definitely don't want that, so let's spook him off of the turret by doing that, so. There you go. Thanks, buddy. The soundtrack in this game is a little bit dynamic as well, so like it'll start up the music and it'll play a little more intensely as you get into a big firefight, and then once you're done with the firefight, it will actually just reset back to like that victory sound, and then it'll go from there. So. Alright, but now we gotta figure out where the hell we need to go from here, and, well, I think the best way to go... Sorry, buddy, excuse me for a second. Would be first to destroy this thing. There we go, because we got a little raritanium that we can grab, but also, we gotta shoot this thing, too, because you can see there's a little grab thing behind it, so... Let's see what we can do with that. Let's go grab the raritanium first, though. Yeah, only 6 weapons, unfortunately, but they all have very good use. They all have utility in particular situations. Even the Omni Blasters, which normally, if you know me and you know my usual style of play with these Ratchet & Clank games, I'm usually not a big fan of using the Omni Blaster, or any blaster weapon for that matter, but in this particular game, even the Omni Blaster has utility in certain situations, so mostly because of its high ammo count. But we'll get there. They didn't crunch the raritanium numbers, they destroyed them. Instead of being about as abundant as bullets, you got 1 after you destroyed that cluster. Yes, and I prefer it that way because that makes it actually rare. What a concept. AI enemy will take cover behind an explosive barrel, and me if I do not pay attention. Yeah, gotta watch for that. That's not really a whole lot of fun. So we're going to use these multiple grav tethers. If you cross the beams like that, you can actually move between the tethers to different sections. So we're going to use those to do a little platforming here in a second. Unfortunately, we didn't bring the box breaker with us after a crack in time, but what we did bring with us is our ability to find gold bolts. So let's go grab this one. They're completely useless, though, in this game. They're only useful to purchase Omega weapons in Challenge Mode, and we won't be playing Challenge Mode because that's just the same game over again with slightly higher HP enemies, so I guess you could count that as hard mode if you really wanted to. Okay, so...
Trespasser. You see anything? Remember, there's a bonus for killing the Lombax.
Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be? Hey friends, have a little spook, shall we? And just think, if I had played this game a little bit earlier, like if I had gotten to this game a little earlier, I would have had the Nightmare box in time for Halloween. Oh well. I guess beggars can't be choosers. Enemies will sometimes drop raritanium, by the way, there, so that's why the thugs have been giving us some there, because we actually are getting some from their pockets, essentially, or from their weapons. I don't really know exactly where it is, but they'll give it to us occasionally, so that's cool.
Attention thugs. The destructive Palooza's run out of candidates looking to die or compete in our recruitment arena.
Uh-huh.
If you know someone who isn't married to the idea of breathing, please send them to Planet Crag.
I'm not married to the idea of breathing. That sounds like me. Okay, well, apparently there's a tournament going on at a place called Destructipalooza on Planet Crag. Maybe we'll go check that out. You get Monster Hunter amount of loot from these ores. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's something that you can grind for, raritanium, but I don't know. I like the fact that, again, it's actually remotely rare. It makes it more appropriate to its name, I think. And it also makes it so that you kind of have to pick and choose the weapons that you want to use in this game, so... Gave yourself a new profile picture. I think it's fine that you didn't time this and getting in time for Halloween, Christmas, yeah. It's probably fine. I did give myself a new Plague Doctor profile picture, so now it's more appropriate. The initial spook, by the way, is enough to actually kill small enemies, so that's kind of nice. And the corrosive acid apparently is enough to kill large enemies or medium enemies, so that's cool. That's cool. Oh, respawning ammo box. Is it? I don't know that it is. I guess you can be the judge of that. Haha. Yeah, the Nightmare box has got a pretty decent radius in terms of its ability to actually catch enemies in its decoy zone. Even if it doesn't catch them with the initial blast, it's still pretty good for... oh, this isn't the right weapon for this. There we go. Let's get a little experience for the Omni Blasters here. Because they're almost V3. Might as well get them there if we can. There we go. And now they're V3, the dual Omni Blasters. So yes, liken up your arsenal, weapons actually change their function slightly. as you level them up. In this case, it's not too much of a function. It's the weapon is just more powerful, but you get 2 guns now instead of just 1. And there are new upgrades available along with power being boosted, so that's pretty good. And incidentally, that does bring me back to the concept that I wanted to talk about what I've been thinking about with the Crack in Time's weapons and stuff, and why I couldn't really put my finger on what my problem was with the Crack in Time before, but I think I finally figured it out. So, in every Ratchet & Clank game, you have the core gameplay, which is the weapon use and all of that stuff. And then on top of the core gameplay, which is the weapons, their upgrades... Oh, hang on, I'll talk about that after Vendor's done talking. It's me!
You really can't be killed.
That's what everyone says.
Like our old planet. Neff and I grew up here.
Oh?
I can't wait for you to see what we've done with the place.
It looks a little spooky, to be fair. That makes sense. So yeah, in every Ratchet & Clank game, there's the core gameplay, which is the weapons, their evolutions, and their utility in battle. And then there is the side content of the game, which is basically everything else. You know, the other stuff, the platforming challenges, the space mission challenges, all of that stuff, I would consider to be more of a Ratchet & Clank game is always the weapons, their interplay in battle, and the way that they interact with one another. So, the thing that I finally figured out about A Crack in Time is that I enjoy all of the ambitious aspects of A Crack in Time. The ship missions I enjoy the ship missions, the Clank levels, the little platforming challenges, the hover boots, all of that stuff I enjoy. What I don't enjoy about Ratchet & Clank Future A Crack in Time is the core gameplay loop. The central focus of every Ratchet & Clank game is the part that I don't like as much in A Crack in Time. It's because it feels like, in a way, a lot of the weapons just simply are redundant to one another. Their utility is, oh, we leveled up the Nightmare Box, nice. A little extra power for it, so that's good. That's what that button is for up there, the one that says 53% next to it, that little icon, is for power. So just in case you're wondering. But yeah, it feels like in a lot of ways there are some redundancies to the weapons that are available in A Crack in Time. Like I made mention of on the stream, you get 3 shotguns in A Crack in Time. You get in different flavors. You get missile-flavored shotgun, you get classic-flavored shotgun, and you get buzzsaw-flavored shotgun. So it just feels like, in a way, there isn't a weapon for every situation like there is in other Ratchet & Clank titles. It feels like you have similar weapons for the same, like you have weapons for the same situation that are, well, redundant, to be frank. So, and I think that's where the problem that I had with A Crack in Time really came into play, is that the ambitious stuff I liked, and the ambitious stuff itself was pretty fun in a lot of cases. They really had a lot of cool ideas that they implemented when they were doing stuff for A Crack in Time. But if the core weapons and the weapon evolutions don't really fit well, and I don't think they do, because in a lot of cases, the weapons themselves are kind of redundant. The weapon evolutions are usually just, hey, your weapon is more powerful now, rather than changing some other function, like they have in previous games, like in Up Your Arsenal, Deadlock, Tools of Destruction, all of those, they would change function in some way. It wouldn't just be your weapon is more powerful now, it would be more than that. And their utility in battle, well, we already said, in some ways they're pretty redundant, so I think that's where the major problem I have with The Crack in Time lies. Not necessarily just in the, what's it called? Not just necessarily in the, oh, this is a bit of a problem. I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh, because he was trying to access the turret at the same time I was trying to access the turret. Got it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, it just sort of doesn't, the core gameplay loop, I think, of A Crack in Time just doesn't trip my trigger as well, because the weapons just, they feel a little stale, to be honest, because they keep the same function throughout the entire game. They don't change their utility in any way, and again, there's some redundancies there, so I don't know. I don't like the weapons in A Crack in Time and their evolutions and their utility in battle as much as other games. So basically what I'm saying is, if Tools of Destruction's weapons were put into A Crack in Time's world, I would be all on board for that. It'd probably be one of my favorite games in the series. So, How did you know?
To the thugs molest Destructipalooza and earn a place amongst our esteemed enforcers.
Uh-huh.
A year ago, I was robbing old ladies for chump change. Now, I'm a functional member of a dysfunctional subgroup. Thanks, Destructipalooza.
Well, at least you found a good group of friends.
I used to pick up my class mates for free. Now I'm doing it professional-like. And my mother said I'd never amount to nothing.
Oh my god.
Thanks, Destructipalooza.
Before Destructipalooza, I was CEO of a respectable mutual fund and brokerage firm. Now I prey on the innocent for a living because the economy is in the shit.
Destructipalooza.
I mean, didn't you prey on the innocent for a living before this as a part of the brokerage firm?
Try not to get DED.
I can try to do that.
That's right. This oddly specific prize is just
It is pretty specific, isn't it?
robotic friend into a bite-sized commander of the skies. And it's only available here at the Thugs for Less Destructipalooza.
Well, I guess we could check that out.
A Grummelet jetpack. That could prove quite useful.
Let's check out that orphanage first.
Yeah, the only problem, of course, being that we kind of need a way to get off this planet first, don't we? So I guess we'll check it out in a little while. I love how your jaw is still sore after being injected 3 days ago. It sucks to eat. Sucks to be you. I'm 100% fine. Well, sorry to hear that you're going through that still there, Marie. I'm not looking forward to going through it myself, so at that point... Well, you won't be in pain anymore at that point, but we will be in pain together somewhat, because I will have my wisdom teeth removed shortly as well. Like, I think it's about a month and a half away at this point, so... Excuse me. At least they know it's an oddly specific upgrade. That's true. Love the humor so much. You were CEO... is a good position, right? So why would you not be a CEO if you make a lot of money, right? Yeah, I guess that's true. That's a fair point. I think I'm actually going to save my Raritanium for right now, because I do want to buy the Temporal Repulsor, but we don't quite have enough money just yet, so we'll work on that in a little bit as we get into the Azrael Caverns. Maybe by the time we find Pollux, we'll have enough money. But we'll keep using the Nightmare Box. It's working pretty good. It's already level 2, so that's not too bad. I think I need to work on the Fusion Grenade a little bit, but we'll get there. Those needles were huge. They even said you'd still feel pressure even if you were numbed, which, yeah, you weren't 100% numb. You were numb enough. Oh, boy. It'll be like that time I got a cyst removed. Sorry, that's a little gross, but I got a cyst removed back when I was in high school. And they numbed me, but it was just a weird and funky feeling because they were, like, digging around to get this... this is gross, I'm sorry. That's why I didn't want to go into the caverns any further, by the way, because we'd get locked in here once we did that. But they were digging around to get the cyst out, and I could feel them digging under my skin, but I didn't feel any pain, so it was, like, really odd. It was just a really weird feeling. I think you're supposed to get the Raritanium by going back this way, but I obviously didn't do that. You're still getting numb after you left over 40 minutes later? Yeah, I think they said to expect that when I was... a little numbness when I was there, so...
Look for signs of Pollux' equipment. If he used grav targets to move across the ruins, we may be able to trace them back to his location.
That's a good point. Alright, so we gotta find Pollux, and in order to do that, we're gonna need to use these grav tethers to get through here, but also go find some more Raritanium. Yeah, you actually have to look around in these stages in order to find the Raritanium in this one. It's not just going to be out in the open most of the time. Again, adds to the rareness of the item, of the collectible, which is, again, something I enjoy, because Raritanium was pretty damn common in Tools of Destruction, so kind of defeats the purpose of half of its name. But, you know, it's fine. Anyway, we got to pull those grav tethers down and then ride them through. Got plenty of time to do it, but the timing is appreciated, so that's good. Wow. This place is getting a little crazy in here at these earthquakes. There's those wisps again. I wonder what they're all about. Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure how I was going to get this otherwise. Thank you. Ooh, another piece of the Rhino 7 holoplan.
Hey there, Ratchet. I see you found another part.
Oh.
You're alive.
I wasn't sure if you went down with the ship.
The old Nebulox vault went boom, the lights went out.
Oh.
I tried to leave, but wouldn't you know it? locked.
That vault is pretty well sealed. It's also pretty well armored.
Do not worry. We will come to your aid as soon as possible.
Thanks, little fella.
So apparently the plumber's fine. We have to find the Nebulox vault, so we're going to need to find the Nebulox's ruins at some point, but maybe we'll be able to find, like, Krunk and Zephyr's CPU chips or something, and at least then Talwyn will have a little bit of closure, I suppose. That's not something we're going to be dealing with right now, though, because, well, we got to deal with these guys first. Thank you. Definitely don't want to fall down there, though. That looks like a long way down, so... Just wait for the earthquake, make sure it's not going to break me off or something. Because that would not be good. Helps explain why you went into that mine last game that was basically stripped dry. Yeah, because the raritanium is actually rare now in Polaris. I missed your roast in the chat, and what's the point of a roast if the person you roast is not receiving it? Let me go back. Was late. Oh, I see it here after the new profile picture. He was late for that profile picture, considering Corona is more or less over, and today's stream started late too, so being on time is not his specialty. Yeah, but we knew that already, so that's not really news to anybody, unfortunately. It's a good roast, though. It's a good roast, though. You did well. I didn't mean to throw that, but oh. Hanging paper decorations? Well, they did say that they used to live here. Maybe they hung out in the cave somewhere. Uh-oh. That's a spawner! Well, it's not spawning anything anymore. Yeah, fusion grenade's going to be a little hard to upgrade for a little while because it doesn't exactly have the most ammo. And again, this game is a little stingy on giving you the correct ammo for stuff, but at least the Nightmare Box will get some good experience, so that's good. Let's just plop that bad boy right down here. Get it a bunch of experience, and then, oh, I got some more grenades. Nice. That'll help out with this. Thanks, buddy. He took care of all of that for me. Look at all that experience he's got. He's already V2.5. When I tell you this weapon is going to be upgraded really quickly, I meant it. I also like the spooks that come out of the box, too. Like, they're all pretty nicely detailed. So, nice and scary. Mechanical body parts that look like they're ready to rip you to shreds. Exactly what I would want for my enemies, not for me. It would be an interesting weapon for enemies to use against you, though, too, I think. Like, maybe not necessarily to stun you with the spook, but maybe you take, like, a little extra damage while you're spooked or something. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. You're usually early, but you wanted a nap before work. No, that's okay. Yeah, one of the jokes around here, Lifeblood, I don't know if you've been around for long enough for me to actually make the joke, but one of the running jokes about this stream is that I'm routinely late for my own streams, so that's why I'm not really worried about it if anybody else is late, because I'm late all the time, so yeah, don't worry about it if you're late, it's no big deal.
Tao, Pollux' grav targets are everywhere. We must be getting close.
Be careful. The twins kidnapped him 6 months ago. Who knows what they've been having him work on?
That's a fair point. Probably working on something crazy. Oh, hang on, I almost forgot. You take that right back and take that right back as well. We actually want to do this and this, because you might notice that there are, in fact, some crates on top of that little platform there. Nothing really substantial up there, no gold bolts or anything. Gold bolts in this one are actually pretty tough to find, but I do want to go grab these crates if I can. So, there we go. Bolts aren't really too much of a problem in this one, mostly because of the fact that we're not going to be buying all of the weapons in the game, because the game is just not long enough for me to upgrade all the weapons, so I'm not even going to bother buying most of them. I think we only need a total of, like, something really small, like somewhere in the neighborhood of 100,000 bolts or something across the entire game, and we're already pretty close to that at the moment, so yeah. We'll get there pretty quickly. There we go. Okay, we do have fusion grenade ammo. That's good. I'm going to use it. I'm also going to use Nightmare Box to give these guys a big old spook. I already know the name of today's episode, that's for sure, using this fancy-ass weapon. There you go. Well, fusion grenade's getting there. It's almost V2. I'm not worried about it if it takes a while for the fusion grenade to upgrade. It's gonna be kind of our like standby heavy weapon for the entire game, so it's okay if it takes it a while to upgrade. I'm not really bothered. This guy's got a little resistance to my bombs though because of his tactical jacket that he's got on, tactical vest. But apparently it wasn't enough resistance, so. Did I manage to deal with that 40-second VOD the other day? I looked after the stream, and it wasn't even there, to be honest. Maybe Twitch, like, deleted it automatically because it was too short? I don't know. It was odd, though. I remember it not being there, which is really, really weird. I should probably have grabbed more ammo before leaving here, but that's okay. It's fine. I don't think you can get over there. Doesn't look like there's any gold bolts or anything over there anyway, so... I guess I don't need to. I do need to get over there, though. Let's see what we can do. But yeah, I love the little piano ditty that they have going in the background of the grav tether here. It's just so serene for something like this, that you're just floating through the air. Alright, let's zap that bad boy. Oh, I see what we need to do. Yep, this is going to turn that so we can move along there. Ratchet's little animation that he does, though, when he's turning bolt cranks in this game just look a little janky to me. Again, I think it's because he's doing that slow running animation. It just looks a little off. It's not a big deal. It's pretty much just a nitpick, but... that's a very large SAT word, sir. Congratulations, someone gave you a dictionary for Christmas. I do. You're the bad guys. That's how these games go, friend. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know why the thugs are suddenly Australian and Russian in this game. Maybe because the Polaris version of them have different accents? I don't know. Last I saw them, they were in the Bogon Galaxy, but... I don't know. They do that again, though, in Rift Apart. Like, they changed their accent again to, like, this... dude bro accent, like very American stereotypical jock accent that goes guy that goes to the gym really often. I mean, whatever, but a little consistency wouldn't kill you. All right, we got our 2 weapons, so we're good to go. Let's see what we got here. At least one of us is on time, to be more precise. Me. Wow.
What are you doing here? What?
Thank you.
We're here to rescue you, but you need to tell us what the twins have you working on.
Nothing. It's just this pet project I had back at the office. Certainly nothing illegal. Just a tiny, insignificant, trans-dimensional portal device.
Okay, you hired Richard Horvitz just to do that line, didn't you?
What's going on down there?
I'm hosting my book club. You want to join?
All the Cerathoids love My Blaster Runs Hot.
As you were.
Alright, Pollux. Spill the beans. What do you got in here?
We don't have a lot of time. We'll have to do this quickly.
Pardon, but do what quickly?
That is the question. And here's the answer. Okay.
What did you do to him?
Trans-dimensional software upgrade.
That was a software upgrade? Okay.
This entire planet is filled with dimensional rifts to a reality the twins call the Netherverse. Your upgraded spotlight uses irradiated particles to detect them.
Irradiated?
Particles? Is that safe?
Oh, don't worry. I'm perfectly safe as long as I stand far, far away from your incredibly radioactive body.
Now we're just getting some Fallout humor in here. Anyway, we have an upgraded spotlight and an upgraded clank. We need to find a nether rift so that we can use it to do something. He hasn't really told us exactly what they do just yet, but he gave Clank a software upgrade so he can do something with these nether rifts. It's not like Clank is already a trans-dimensional time anomaly dude, but apparently now he's also a space anomaly dude. He's just an eldritch abomination at this point, Clank is, because now he can enter the space between dimensions. Oh my god. Yeah, remember when the Fongoids blew up the Great Clock by accident? Or rather, blew up reality by accident? I believe that's what they were talking about when he says the explosion of the Great Clock, so... Clank looked ready to throw hands after the update. Well, I mean, he did grab him and just shove him in there without telling him what the hell was going on. I'd be ready to throw hands, too. So... Imagine the spawner continuously spawning enemies the moment the game was started non-stop and you have like 1 million enemies in the end game. That would suck and also be incredibly slow because of all the slowdown from the enemies spawning. Maybe they're from Space Australia, that's true. Is consistency really a part of the Ratchet & Clank series? It used to be, before the Future series, so...
I'm picking up a strong energy signature in your vicinity. Keep going.
Oh, I kind of just glossed over that. So... This is the Clank level of the game. There are these 2D side-scroller platforming challenges, but there's a little bit of a twist to them, and the twist is you can use the right analog stick to manipulate gravity up, down, right, or left. Now, right now, it's not going to let me manipulate it right or left because I'm trying to do a... it's doing a tutorial for me first, so before I can do that, it will not let me. So, there we go. Yeah, these challenges are kind of fun if you try to do them the way that I like to do them, which is how long can you stay out of hitting the ground. So that's what makes these fun for me, is like trying to manipulate the challenges so you don't actually have to hit the ground. And I find that pretty fun. Shadow Clank, so it's more of like a Clank is in the space between realities, and that's why he looks like he's made of dark matter right now, because... I would assume that dark matter exists here, even though it exists in our reality too, but it can exist in both realities.
But why?
For science, of course.
Animal abuse for science is not a good look there, Pollux, although I think people would kind of not be sure if this is an animal or not. Either way. Come along, little pup. We have work to do. So now the Nether will follow you through this area. He'll follow you no matter how quickly you're moving, so don't worry about just doing this if you want to do this, so...
I've been here 6 months. I'm bored.
Oh, okay, fair enough. And for bringing the Nether into our reality... is he going to mention it right now?
Success. You were born for interdimensional travel.
Thank you.
The Zarkov sector is not haunted. These ghosts are actually Nethers.
Yes.
Those antennas we've been seeing around the city. Think those have something to do with all this?
Distinctly possible.
They're rift beacons. Vendra's personal design. I just saw her in the orphanage a few hours ago working on this thing. Never mind.
Uh-huh. Well, I guess that's where we're going then. But yeah, so we're not in a haunted sector of the galaxy. This place is filled with trans-dimensional beings called Nethers that are able to manipulate the space between reality and exist because Vendra Prague opened a portal to the Netherverse, a different dimension. And when the Nethers come into our reality, for a brief moment, if they exist in the same space as other matter besides air, like if they exist in the same space as, say, a rock formation, they become incredibly volatile and explode, which is how we got out of the cave there, so... Just in case anyone was wondering exactly how that worked, that's how that worked. The Nethers are highly volatile, unstable creatures, and, well, we manipulated that volatility to make use of our, to make a new area for us to go to, essentially. You can also move up and down, by the way, with the left analog stick while manipulating gravity with the right, so... Yeah, it adds a little bit more, even more than what we had before to the whole trying to keep your feet from hitting the ground thing I was talking about, so. Well, we need to get that out of there, so that's not going to work. There we go. Excuse me, slide this bad boy over here and then plop it right down. Cool. Is this orphanage an actual orphanage, or is there something more? We're going to find out in a minute. We're almost there. We're not quite at the orphanage yet, but we'll be getting there soon, after we get this Nether working with us. Hi, buddy. Why can't you let me pet the trans-dimensional, highly volatile doggo instead of punching him in the face, Ratchet & Clank into the Nexus? What the hell? I want to pet the interdimensional doggo. I don't want to hit him in the face. Wow. So yeah, you got to kind of have him chase you around a little bit here. If he bites you, it'll deal a little damage to you, so you got to be a little careful, but, well, we're fine. Got a little iframes right there, actually. So, just bring him right back over here, and there you go. The skill points we're getting are because I'm not taking any damage, if that wasn't obvious. So. It's a volatile creature from another dimension, really necessary if you have fusion grenades and other military-grade weaponry. No, but I guess it's a little cooler. That rule of cool, you know. If it looks cool, then that's what they'll do with it. It's not just used to break rock formations either in the game. There are other things that you do with it, mostly in, like, later planets. That it actually is used for something remotely useful besides just breaking rock formations, so we'll get there. Just not there yet. I mean, to be fair, we also have a swing shot that we could be using to fly around if we have Versa targets. Oh, like this one. So yes, you only actually have access to the grav tether when there are grav targets nearby, but when there's a swing shot target, you can just slide right onto it like that. Yeah, okay. Sure. But anyway, yeah, we have access to the swing shot now, and there are some Versa targets for us to use them on, so let's do that. The momentum on the swing shot feels pretty good in this one, too. Like, it feels like you travel... I don't want to say faster, but it's not a consistent speed. It's more of a, like, momentum-based speed, where it feels like you get more momentum as you go like that.
That cracker he gave you only seems to work on robots. Maybe he was trying to figure out a way for everyone else to go in.
Or come out.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to figure out how to get the nethers out. I wouldn't be surprised if Vendra tried to recruit him to help her with that. So, now what do you suppose this is? An audio journal. Okay. Let's have a listen, shall we?
Nero Orphanage. Bunch of creeps and bullies. All they do is pick on Neff and me. And when I tell one of the teachers, I get sent to detention.
No, that's not good.
I made a new friend today. I call him Mr. I, and he lives in the caves where my brother and I were found. He doesn't pick on me. He says he's my friend, and he says he has big plans for us.
Usually a friend doesn't tell you they have big plans for you, but...
Vendra must have kept them while she was a resident here.
Let's see if we can find some more.
That would give us a good idea about what the hell's going on, so... Again, thanks to the consistency of this game's structure, because it's a shorter game, the planets are kind of tightly packed with story bits as well as set pieces, and so we should get most of the story fairly quickly in this game, so... You are 100% worried. For Vendra, yeah, that's probably fair.
Looks like you got enough raritanium for an upgrade.
I do. I've also got enough bolts for a new weapon, the Temporal Repulsor. Let's grab it right now.
Temporal Repulsor. A heavy-duty shotgun that uses quantum rounds to vanquish foes in style.
Yes, that, exactly. Okay, and because I still have 12 raritanium, we can actually start upgrading it. And that's actually kind of important for the Temporal Repulsor, because if you look at it, you'll notice that it has access to raritanium upgrades. This increases the chance that you will get raritanium from each enemy that you kill. And, well, to make sure that we don't have to grind any of it, this is actually going to be a pretty important upgrade for us. So let's grab this first. Let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just grab that to get the mystery upgrade. So that accesses the Quantum Blast upgrade, which does, what did it say? Point-blank shots contain an added blast of Zoni energy that sends enemies flying. So if you use it like a shotgun, you're now rewarded for it. And again, this is really nice, right? It gives you access to upgrades that slightly vary the utility of the weapon or make it feel more upgraded than simply the weapon is more powerful. You know what I mean? Yeah, I pay the raritanium to get the raritanium, exactly. Oh boy. I mean, whatever helps, I suppose, if it makes it easier for me to get it. Yeah, we indeed just blast them with zonies and they just fly out of the thing. You just shoot them and they die. The zonie inside the weapon are just like, yay! But yeah, so getting some raritanium is a very important thing to have, and so I'm going to use the temporal repulsor pretty liberally to make sure that I get as much raritanium as possible. Now that we've done that, the Nightmare Box has new upgrades available because it's V2. I can even look at the Omni Blaster since it's V3. As you can see here, it has all of its upgrades available. And I'll probably go mostly for the ammo ones, to be honest, because the weapon's power isn't as important as having more shots in it, to be honest. The Fusion Grenade, I will need some ammo for that too, but we'll get there in a bit. Maybe I'll get it now, actually, because it's just kind of a little bit of extra raritanium, and I don't really need any of the other upgrades for the Nightmare Box for now. I guess ammo would be nice for that, so where do we start with this thing? Down here, so I can go 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll do that. Get a little extra ammo for our fusion grenade, not a bad idea. And these, I would like to get some ammo, but I don't need it that badly just yet, so I think instead I'll get some ammo for this. So let's do this. Yeah, just do that, and then get this ammo node as well. And there we go. You're telling me Rabbids were popular but not Zoni? What kind of shit is this? They definitely didn't market the Zoni enough, that's for sure. You looked it up, you did not find Zoni plushies or merchandise in general. Time to find someone who can make a plushie. Yeah, for sure, I'd buy one. What the hell, the Zoni are great. Alright, we got a new weapon, Temporal Repulsor. I will take my shotgun and I will use it. So, yeah, there's 4 out of our 5 normal weapons that we'll be having. This, like I said, the 6th one we get for free, but it's pretty late in the game, so these are going to be our mainstays for a little while, basically. But the fusion grenade needs to get the V2, so let's use that first. Oh, I got a raritanium from somewhere. Something must have died. Cool. I'll take it. Okay, yeah, let's use the fusion grenade to get it to V2 first. I kind of hoped that would be enough, but oh, fair enough. Whoa. Spawner! Ow. Hang on. There we go. Now it's V2. Yeah, get a little extra power for it. We've got 7 grenades now. It's filled up, excuse me, on ammo. And now we can do this. There we go. Easy as that. Didn't get a whole lot of experience for the repulsor, but we'll get experience for it in a little bit. We just need to find something bigger to kill. And then we'll be good to go. Ah! So, actual orphanage. Alright, fair enough. Now let's go see where the Progs used to live, shall we? You have a Moogle and an Axolotl for now. The Zoni can wait. It'll be a nice little trifecta once you get it, though. Should look into people who could make a Zoni plush for future reference. Yeah, I probably should. I'd be willing to pay for that. Those things remind you of Zergs? Yeah, in a way, actually. Now that you talk about it, yeah. Those are the things from Buzz Lightyear, right? Cole used to watch that all the time. Or am I thinking of the Emperor? Probably thinking of the Emperor. Wow. Watch where you're pointing that thing, man. You're gonna hurt somebody. Namely me. I don't want you to hurt me. So this guy's got a bit of a shield. But if you use the Nightmare Box, it will actually allow you to get around his shield a little bit because you can just, well, it basically just distracts his shield. I don't know why I jumped so early there. Stop laughing at me. It's not very funny. Just because I'm bad doesn't mean you can laugh at me the whole time. But yeah, as you can see, Nightmare Box and Temporal Repulsor, pretty good combination. That's not creepy at all. Again, this game kind of goes for a little more of like a darker tone to it. More serious, and some of the there's humor in it, but there's also some creepiness to it. If they were wearing their Mass Effect inspirations, influences on their sleeves for A Crack in Time, they're definitely also wearing their Dead Space influence on their sleeve for this one, I think, anyway. Guys, I have 2 missing Temporal Repulsor ammo that you could just give to me whenever you're ready. Forget it. I'm just gonna go. It's fine. I'm not upset, really. Narrator says, I am upset. Alright, a little bit of platforming. We just gotta make sure that they don't drop the platform on us here. This one does not drop the platform, though. It just kind of moves up and down, so that's helpful. At least something still works around here. No, there's another audio log. Let's grab these first, though.
Mr. I says Neff and I are special. He says we come from a different place. I told him I wanted to go there, but he says Neff and I have been in this world too long to survive there now. But maybe we can bring them here. I'll need books. Lots of books. Quantum mechanics, transdimensional tunneling. But this could work.
Well, that would explain how she knew how to do all of that stuff.
The evacuation of the sector.
Yeah, probably they're the reason why the sector was evacuated, because if they brought Nethers into this universe, I could see that being a bit of a problem. Got more Cerathoids to kill with one Nightmare box. Thanks, buddy. You just patrol the sector, then. Watch my 6. I gotta go down here.
It looks like the rifts were created during some sort of temporal disruption eons ago. Like a hiccup in the space-time continuum. With the right equipment, we may be able to amplify the anomalies and bring out Mr. I. Of course, we'll need some room to experiment. Neff says he knows what to do about them. By this time next year, the entire sector will be ours to experiment with.
Oh boy.
A hiccup in the space-time continuum? She's talking about the Great Clock.
Yeah, probably, actually. Ooh, Raritanium back here under the stairs. I'll take it. Probably don't need all these help desk icons after the first stream. Maybe I'll turn them off after, but we'll see. Weak as shit, boss. Yeah, he wasn't exactly very powerful, but then again, a V2 weapon at this point is pretty strong. Like, you know that the weapons upgrade because you feel the power difference in this game. An upgrade in this game isn't just a little bit of extra power, it's a lot of extra power, so. Do it all the time in games. I mean, I'm a bully, but I don't care anymore. Fair enough. Is Vendra going to be even slightly sympathetic by the end of this game? Probably not, because she killed 2 beloved characters. She did, but if you'll notice, based on the information that we have at hand from this area, she's actually kind of similar to Ratchet in a way, because Ratchet, at least in Tools of Destruction, was still looking for his family who happened to be in another dimension. So I kind of enjoy that they have a villain. Now, of course, she's completely written to be kind of an offshoot for Ratchet to see and be like, wow, I could have been exactly like this if I kept looking for my family and become someone I'm actually not. But it's kind of nice that they have a character that behaves in that way in this game, because it lets you see how far Ratchet's come throughout the future tetralogy in terms of how he felt about finding his family and finding the Lombaxes before versus how he feels now. So that looks like a nightmare. Maybe that's Mr. I? Boy, I hope not. He looks spooky! Wow. Place falling apart. Oh, more wisps. Good. And more spawners. Good. Hold on. Fusion grenade a go-go. Not quite enough to kill the spawners, but it's like in one hit, that is. But it'll be enough eventually. I know I'm taking a bunch of hits, but that's okay. No big deal. And also I'm going to need this. There we go. Before you upgrade it, the temporal repulsor's area of effect is a little bit narrow, but as you upgrade it with Raritanium, it actually increases its radius, so that'll help a little bit when we start upgrading it a little more. I'll probably mostly focus on upgrading the temporal repulsor and one other weapon that we don't have yet with my Raritanium, so yeah, just in case you're wondering where that that little currency is going to go, that's where. Isn't that how you said you wanted Tachyon to be? Yes, exactly. And you'll notice also that the Nethers might seem a little familiar, because in Tools of Destruction, the Cragmites were also locked in another dimension. So consider this almost like an offshoot of what they did with the Cragmites in Tools of Destruction, but I think the Nethers are done much better. The Cragmites are terrifying, but their leader is an incompetent asshole, and they only really get like 1 or 2 planets to shine. The Nethers are present for the entire game in Into the Nexus, and they're equally as terrifying. They're also pretty competent, and they're central to the entire story, so that's actually pretty good, I think. It's a do-over, but I think they do better with them here than they did with the Cragmites and Tools of Destruction. Mostly because they solve, like you said, they solve some of the problems that I had with Tools of Destruction's implementation of the Cragmites, so... Alright, Nightmare Box is doing pretty good, I think. I could try to make a beeline for the rest of the ammo for it up there and try to get that second upgrade, but really the main upgrade that you need for it is just the Corrosive Acid. Once you have that, you can kind of take it easy on it for a little bit and start working on other weapons instead. Is this Radius? Blast Radius, it is, okay. Well, might as well finish it out while we're thinking about it. I got 4, this is 4 nodes, might as well get it. So, I could have gotten more ammo for this, I suppose, but that's okay. Excuse me. Well, we got another rift. I can't believe my backpack turned into an Eldritch Abomination by the end of this series. What the hell? Alright, Clank, let's see what else we can do in here. I'm not even going to bother, like, platforming in most cases. I'm just going to manipulate the gravity so I can just free fall. For me, it's more fun. It's silly, but it's more fun, I think. Unless they stop me from manipulating the gravity by doing this, but, you know. Well, that's a bomb. A mine, actually, but, you know. Hello. Alright, come along, little doggy. But yeah, don't worry about it if you get a little ahead of him. He'll catch up, trust me. See? Oh, okay. The noise that he makes as he's following you, too, is pretty terrifying. Just the sound, it just reverbed the whole time. It's pretty good. The sound effects in this game are pretty solid, I think. You were right, that is more fun than platforming. Yeah, I like it better than just trying to use... It's better to manipulate the gravity. It's more fun, I think, to manipulate the gravity than actually trying to use the level's platforms to your advantage. What do villains actually plan when they plan to destroy the planet they live on with no space travel? It's a good question. I don't know if they were planning on destroying this planet, but I think they were planning on, you know, maybe manipulating or taking control of the universe. Although in this case, I think Vendor just wants to bring her family here because I think Mr. I don't know if he's her family, but he is probably a Nether in some way, so I think she just wants to go home and see her family. So I don't know if she cares about this planet being destroyed. She probably just wants to go back to the Netherverse. It's where they were from, apparently, so...
They built their own dimensionator?
These guys are really smart.
Concentrate on who you wanted to find.
Ow!
My friend, I got family problems too. Don't be afraid to share your pain.
No, you're gonna regret that. Ow!
That's a lot of pain.
Yeah! Oh. I like the humor that this game comes up with. It's a little few and far between, but it's pretty good when it happens. It's mostly like physical slapstick humor, which I've always loved, so... Okay, that could be a bit of a problem. Man, the villain already succeeded and it's only the second planet? What the hell? It took Tachyon until like the second to last planet of the game. Oh my god. What in the goddamn is that monstrosity?
We'll have you out soon.
He has a black hole in his eyeball? Good lord.
Look how far we've come. It's taken time. But the walls between our worlds are wearing thinner by the day. No. No one knows about Planet Silas. The city's been
I think we know about it now.
we saw to that.
Oh boy. He did in fact share his pain. Yes, he did. Violently. Uh-oh. Well, he is a big eye, so I suppose he would discover us eventually. Ah, crap. Is it okay to share your pain, Donkey Kong fully charged neutral B? Yes, exactly. He definitely did exactly that. The Nethers are not just like a redo in terms of story motivation for the Cragmites. They also operate fairly similarly to them. They teleport all over the place and they'll shoot at you, and they're pretty strong, so yeah, they're pretty powerful. And we'll have to make do with them and deal with them as we go. Can I get a platform so I can actually fight this guy, or am I going to have to, like, YOLO! Yeet the grenade across. That works, I guess. You got some pretty good armor there, friend. Where'd you get it? Oh, another universe. Yeah, I guess that could make it a little bit better than what I've got. Captain Quark! I'm glad, but how did you get this frequency?
It's really not necessary.
Especially all the way out here. Wow.
I wasn't doing anything important. I'm on my way to Zarkov right now, and I'm bringing your ship.
Oh, good. Thelian will be back, at least. Quark actually being useful? This isn't Ratchet and Clank. You're lying to me. Oh, boy. Yeah, he bought his armor from the Nether shop, of course. Yeah, I think Nightmare Box will work, because I'm about to drop in, and there's about to be a lot of little enemies that need a pummeling here. Thanks, buddy. And with the decoy there, that'll actually allow me to get it up close and personal with the temporal repulsor for the most part. We're going to need a little more health for the Nightmare Box in order to get the full effect out of it, but yeah, it even scares the Nethers, surprisingly enough. So you'd think they'd be used to Nightmare Abominations because they are Nightmare Abominations, but apparently they're not used to the Nightmare Box, so... Ooh, hello. I guess I didn't shoot as much as I should have there in terms of, like, how close they were. Yeah, we got a couple of Raritanium out of those guys for using the temporal repulsor on them, so that's good. Quark will be giving you full moral support, right? Yeah, exactly. But he is actually useful on this planet, as you'll see in a second, because, well, we could float down there, but I'd rather have my ship and float down there. Hey, easy on the goods, pal. Oh my god.
No, actually, yes, that was us that said that.
We need that ship. Thank you. I mean, I'll take the weapon experience for killing more Nethers, but...
They were true heroes.
Thanks, Quark.
Just let it out. Let it all out. Don't be afraid to cry. That's a brave Lombax.
Oh my god.
All right, that's enough of that. The twins are using some low-rent Dimensionator. We need to make sure the real one is safe.
Not to worry. It's on display in the secure wing of the Intergalactic Museum of History. It's virtually impenetrable.
So what you're saying is they'll have it in the next few hours.
We'll be unable to bring over any more Nethers. Ratchet, we must get to planet Psylocke.
Yes,
okay.
Let's spend more time in this haunted sector filled with insidious space demons.
Relax,
yeah, that's the
Quark.
idea.
It isn't haunted, but if you like, maybe you can just support us from space.
Good idea. Tactical patrol from the cosmos.
He was very on board for that idea. And now he's very off-planet. Well, at least we don't have to worry about dragging his ass along for the whole story. Oh, fuck, Mr. Problem Causer is here. Yeah, pretty much. We now have access to Aphelion, so we can travel to other planets. Does Aphelion talk in this one, or is this more wasted potential? The latter. She does not talk at all in this game. So that's fun. Again, I enjoy this game, but it holds on to some of the things that the future series has done, like wasting potential in certain character development things, that I just don't like. You give it 10 minutes before Quark messes something up? Oh, probably. No, he gives us moral support. He gave us our ship back, and, well, he doesn't have a whole lot of a role after this in the game, but at least we got Aphelion back for his little bit of involvement. What do I want to upgrade now, anyway? Seriously, that line where she said she knows how to make it look like an accident. Holy shit, that was brutal, girl. Yeah, I needed more of that. Come on, now. How much would we need in Raritanium-wise to get this there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. But I think I actually want to hold on to my Raritanium for just a little longer here. We used a little bit of it so far, but we still don't want to give it to the dual Omni Blasters just yet. The Fusion Grenade and the dual Omni Blasters are kind of going to be like a, okay, I've upgraded everything else, time to upgrade those type of a thing. And we have a lot to upgrade, so we're not worried about that just yet. But yeah, Temporal Repulsor, the Raritanium upgrades are important, but I'll save the rest of the Raritanium for the next weapon that we're going to buy, which we're going to go do right about now, because we're practically done with this planet. The only thing missing is the other couple of gold bolts that we could find, but again, we don't need to find gold bolts in this one for 2 reasons. 1, they're only useful in challenge mode, and 2, I'm only going to be using 6 weapons anyway, so as long as we collect 6 of them across the entire game. I was trying to think how many there are total in the game, but we'll find that out in a minute once we get to the world map, or the galaxy map. The sector map? Probably a better idea is the sector map. Not a whole lot of planets in this one, as you can see. Like I said, this game is pretty short. But yeah, if I collect 6 gold bolts, I can buy the Omega versions of every weapon I'm going to be using in this one, so, you know, that should be fine. But yeah, there's only a total of 5 planets. That leaves us with a total of 6 levels in the game, period, including the tutorial level. And as you may have noticed, one of them is a tournament, so it really doesn't have any story potential behind it whatsoever. You basically just go there because you need a few bolts. And, well, once we're done with the first tournament, we won't really need many bolts. But, you know, anyway, the story that you need to go to is on Planet Silox. But I'm going to go to Planet Crag first and compete there, because we're actually going to need the jetpack to complete Planet Silox anyway. So let's head over there. And, yeah, if you look here, we're 98% done on Planet Urek anyway. We have the Rhino Hollow plan for it, and I'm going to want to find all of those on these planets, because, well, I mentioned we might be using the Rhino in one of these games, and Into the Nexus was the one I mentioned. So if we find it and we find all of them, I'll use them. I'll use it, rather. If we find all of them, I'll use it. There you go. But the gold bolts, yeah, I'm not even worried about them. So, gold bolts seem kind of trash in this series, to be honest. Yeah, they definitely have lost their luster since, like, Up Your Arsenal. Because in Up Your Arsenal, that was when they started just having them be useful for buying skins, and they haven't really changed it so that they're useful for much of anything since then. Like, the original and Going Commando had the right idea, right? Because you could use them for weapon upgrades and for mods. And that made it worthwhile to collect them, because they were actually useful for upgrading your arsenal. But after that, it just sort of became a collectible for collectible's sake, you know? 3 Days Grace has a song called Pain. You should check it out. That sounds familiar. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before. I've definitely heard a few 3 Days Grace songs. I listened to them a lot when I was in high school, so... Meant by 10 minutes, it takes 10 minutes for them to steal that thing from the museum. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, that's probably fair, so I guess we gotta get a move on. So let's go to Planet Crag and get that jetpack before they steal it from the museum. Also, by going to Planet Crag, we're going to gain access not only to the final weapon that I'm going to want to buy, but also a little bit of an armor upgrade. So that'll be nice. Yes, I will definitely upgrade the Temporal Repulsor to level 3 for some added kick game. Don't even worry about that. Yeah, they have fully gone with the, well, we'll just have loading screens in this one. It was a thing in A Crack in Time, too, and I didn't really understand why it was a thing, because they did a good job of just masking the loading screens by having you fly through space in, what's it called? In the original trilogy, and even in Tools of Destruction. That guy had a bad day. But, I mean, I guess it kind of made sense in A Crack in Time, because you were already flying through space. That was a separate zone that you could actually fly through and access. And in this game, they just keep the loading screens instead of masking them with a flight thing, even though there's no flying in the world map. And I think they... No, they don't actually do that in Rift Apart, if I remember right, because in Rift Apart, the PS5's load times are, like, lightning fast, so you don't have to worry about that. When bolts are money in this world, they are just gold coins, and in the best case is just equal to a lot of bolts. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Sorry, man, I can't get you out, unfortunately. Alright, well, anyway, we got to go into Destructapalooza. I'm just going to take a look outside here, but they probably won't have any collectibles out here, but they do have an armor vendor here, along with the weapon vendor, so we're going to take a look at that in a second. But first, let's just have a check around here. Not a whole lot of anything. Alright, back on the escalator. Even get some added momentum for your long jump on the escalator, so that's cool. Okay, so weapons that are available to us. We've got 2 new ones. That's a general trend that they do in this game, is they'll give you 2 new weapons per planet that you go to, essentially. And in this case, we get the Winterizer, a new weapon. It's basically the resident sheepinator or chimpomatic of this game. It turns them into snowmen while playing Jingle Bells in the background, so that's kind of funny. I guess I could test it out to kind of show it off. Jingle Bells is in the public domain, so I shouldn't get a copyright strike for that, thankfully. But they also give us access to Mr. Zircon, who is making a return. He was a device in Tools of Destruction. He was a weapon in A Crack in Time. And I didn't use him in either one of those. But in this game, he is a house. And we will definitely be using him as a definite, really powerful upgrade to our arsenal. We just need a few more bolts to do that, so... We'll test them both out right now, and then we'll go from there. So let's test out the Winterizer first, because I'm not going to be buying this one. It is pretty good, though, once you get it upgraded. It starts out pretty crap, but once it upgrades to, like, V2 and especially V3, it can turn enemies into snowmen really quickly, so... Unfortunately, it has the same problem as every other morphing ray, well, except the Chimpomatic, in the future series, because it has ammo. So, I don't know why you guys keep doing this with your these weapons, but they need to not have ammo in order for these rays to be useful. It's mostly only useful against small enemies to start anyway, so, like... Yeah, you need to make it so it doesn't have ammo. That was why the Sheepinator was so good, because it was just infinite ammo. It Sheepinated them slowly, but it was still infinite ammo, so... Is it playing the Jingle Bells theme in the background? I can't tell. It might not have been, but just take my word for it. It plays Jingle Bells when you shoot the enemies with it. Anyway, Mr. Zircon, we've kind of seen... Well, actually, we haven't really seen him in action so far, have we? Because we haven't used him as a device. If it was, you couldn't hear it. Okay, so it probably wasn't playing there. Maybe it only plays it out in the world. I don't know. But it does play it, so... Just take my word for it, that's the point. You can use it yourself if you want to, if anybody's wanting to play the game along. So, it's 30,000 bolts at this point, and that's very expensive, so, yeah. Alright, let's test out Mr. Zircon. Where is my Mr. Zircon, anyway? Oh, there he is. So Mr. Zircon is probably one of the better Synthenoids in the entire series. He is pretty powerful. Mostly he's used for lightly armored enemies at V1, but the extra firepower that he gives you is just supplement to your normal damage. So that's pretty good. He lasts a little while as well. Also, I have no idea why you can get Raritanium from enemies in this one, but you can, and it's permanent. You keep it. I have no idea why. Maybe GrumbleNet's just giving me a bonus for being a repeat customer? I don't know. In addition to hanging around and shooting everything, Mr. Zircon also delivers one-liners, mostly concerning his love of pain and death. So that's fun, I suppose. We'll buy him as soon as we have the bolts for it, I guess, and then we'll also buy the armor upgrade that we'll be getting in a second. But I'll probably buy that first and then get Mr. Zircon after. So, yeah, still going to keep the Raritanium because we will probably use it, so... Yeah, even Raritanium, what the hell is that? You get money from weapon testing? I have a lot of questions. I'm so confused. I don't know why they give you those. Again, I think it's maybe just a bonus. Like, if I had to headcanon it some way, I would say it's just a bonus that GrumbleNet's giving me for having been a repeat customer in, like, 4 games at this point. But in reality, it's probably just not supposed to happen, and it's a glitch. Just like how I have Mr. Zircon on my quick select right now, even though I don't have him, because it's... Basically, it's because I was just using him, so the game temporarily gave him to me and then took him away. So.
Let me know if I can be of assistance.
Okay. Apparently, the thugs have their own set of armor, and it actually reduces our damage taken by 20%, so that's not too bad. This game doesn't have... Actually, I think it does have percentage-based damage, just like Tools of Destruction did. But it's not really as relevant, to be honest. You're not going to die in like 4 or 5 hits in any situation in this game because nanotech is actually pretty solid. You get 10 nanotech for every nanotech upgrade in this one, so works pretty good. But let's buy the thug armor. Yeah, thug armor's got style. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's cooler than most of the blue armors that you get in the series, because most of the blue armors are like low to mid-game upgrades, but these ones have these little like gauntlet pauldrons that you could totally jab someone's eye out with in close quarters. So it's pretty cool. Alright, time to go to Destructapalooza and win enough bolts in the Bronze Cup to get ourselves a Mr. Zircon, so let's do that. Okay, so an introductory beating. Destructapalooza would like to welcome you with 3 rounds of angry thugs and perilous hazards. Sounds like a plan. 3,000 bolts will be mine if I win, so let's have this, and let's have this. This might even get to V3 if we're lucky here. We'll see. Get these guys nice and close, and there we go. Try to conserve ammo where I can. Thank you. So yeah, as you can see, the Temporal Repulsor sends enemies absolutely flying when you hit them at point-blank range, so you want to try to get up close and personal as you can with it, which is why it works so well with the Nightmare Box, because the Nightmare Box provides you with the cover that you need to get up close and personal and blast them to smithereens like this. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty solid combination. I like it. We leveled up. We have the Terrorizer now. 130% extra power on our corrosive acid and explosion. And each box contains a pyrocytic core that explodes the moment our ghouls grow tired of scaring the daylights out of your enemies. So now they have a payload at the beginning and the end of their... Okay, so I need you to understand, this is why I love this weapon. It has a payload at the beginning of its timer. It sticks around for a while, it shoots corrosive acid that deals damage while it's sticking around and draws the attention of all enemies in a wide radius, and then it blows up at the end. Just holy shit, this weapon is phenomenal. Oh my god. It is OP as fuck. Here's the thing about Into the Nexus's weapons though, they're all OP as fuck, except the dual Omni Blasters. They're shit, but they're shit with a lot of ammo, so that actually kind of helps them be useful. But every single weapon in this game, when it gets to V3, is incredibly powerful. Maybe not this OP, but still very, very powerful at V3. So again, you feel the upgrades in this one. They are very welcome. So, alright, Terrorizer, you and me. Let's do this. And yeah, the acid just deals so much damage at this point, we shouldn't really have to worry too much at all about the thugs murdering us, so. You know what would be nice to have right about now, though? It would be nice if I had access to my hover boots, because I could get across the arena really quickly so that the Nightmare Box doesn't just kill these guys before I get to them. So, wow. How did I not get hit? There we go. What do we got left? We got Fusion Grenade, and we got Temporal Repulsor that needs some upgrading. So, hold on, little sir. I'll be with you in a second. Just taking care of a little bit of excess baggage. There you go. But yeah, all the weapons in this game are really OP when you upgrade them all the way, and they're all pretty fun to use, I think. They've all got a pretty solid amount of utility. We're back to Tools of Destruction levels of utility with every single weapon in the game here. So, yeah. It's pretty great. I'm glad to have it back. Again, especially after my gripes about a Kraken Times weapon starting to feel a little stale by the end game, I'm glad to have the weapon utility back with such a vengeance in this game. So, well, you can try now if you want. I keep trying, but you guys keep dying too fast. Oop, there we go. I guess I could have let them do it for me, but you know. Yeah, you deal pretty solid damage with this shotgun, even at medium range like that. It just won't send them flying as far, that's all. How do you know that's not his kink? Sorry, I heard it, and that was all my brain could think of. Where are you going? I was supposed to shoot you into the lava. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can aim it so this guy actually goes in the lava this time. There we go. Nice. Well, that'll take care of that round. Why doesn't Ratchet keep this loadout come next game? He has it in his garage. Do you want a dominatrix girlfriend? Me, personally? No, I don't think I do. But, I was just asking a dumb question. My brain sometimes goes there. You, my friend, need a therapist. Urgently. That's probably true. Yeah, I don't know where his arsenal goes in these next games, because I would love to see, like, some of his arsenal come back with its upgrades from previous games, and then you can just upgrade it further in the next game, you know what I mean? So. And to be fair, some weapons do come back later on in the series, like the rocket launcher from this game was in All for One, so it's making a return, and then it's also in Rift Apart, which happens a few years after this game does. But you have to buy it again, and it's back at V1. So, like, I don't know how I feel about that. You have a therapist, you're just insane, and wholly embrace it. Very good, yes. It's okay to be a little insane. The Mangler, huh? Yeah, so it will deliver an electromagnetic pulse at various intervals, so you'll have to jump over it on top of dealing with the thugs shooting you, so that's fun. We're getting a pretty decent amount of raritanium, though, while we're blasting the thugs to smithereens, so that's pretty good. I sometimes have trouble jumping over the pulse, though, because, I don't know, I guess I just don't see it. Maybe I'm just dumb, I don't know. Hey. Well, not bad, I'm on the arena, so.
Oh, you're getting me.
No, I don't think so. Probably like 3 streams will be good. I wasn't sure if it was going to take 2. I had it listed originally on the schedule that this game was going to take 2 streams to beat. But I said, no, it'll probably take like 2.5, so I might as well just stick it on that we'll do the finale next week. It's fine. Well. You don't even have to aim down sight with the shotgun either. You could totally just blast them point blank like this. Just hip fire that shit. It fires straight ahead even if you're doing a flip, so that's not bad. Helps a little bit. Just aiming it. No, it's not okay to be a little insane. All or nothing, baby. As long as you keep it in check, you're good. I guess that's true. So yeah, Steve is here. I think Cole's upstairs, actually.
He's upstairs. Yeah, I'm going upstairs to eat in a second.
Okay. Yeah, Cole's upstairs at the moment. He just got back from work not too long ago, so he's just chilling.
I think got out at 6.
I think he has D&D tonight, so he might not be back down to see what we're up to today. So.
Yeah, we went to lunch and then finished up.
Yeah. Okay.
I went and seen Bob and then went back to work. After we were sitting down with him for like an hour. And then
oh, okay, gotcha.
Went back to work for like an hour and a half.
I didn't read Mangled's description, did I? Test your fighting skills by surviving a battle around the Destructipalooza's prized death trap, the Mangler. And now we get to do pest control, quell the Cerathoid infestation, before time runs out. We got 40 seconds and we get 5,000 bolts and 2 raritanium for it. They give you a little raritanium as rewards for these, which is pretty nice because, again, raritanium is a little actually rare in this one, so that's, you know, kind of useful. Actually, I should probably toss down a Nightmare, because that'll help me with the little guys while I blast these things to smithereens. So, and he'll help out with the actual damage as well. So.
This Lombard size skill. I don't know whether we should recruit him or carve him up for breakfast.
I mean, it's up to you, I suppose, but you'll have to catch me first before you can carve me up.
That was easy.
Your Master Max from Sam Max is very proud of you. Oh, for the talking to an absolute lunatic thing? Yeah. That's fun. Okay, the Blazebot battle. What? So yes, each cup will usually end with a boss fight. So, in this particular case, we're fighting the Blazebot, the Polaris consortium of robotic gladiators. Not as fun as the Agorian departments, but that's fine. Labels the Blazebot a brutal, blood-crazed killer not fit for regulation arena. Thankfully, the Destructipalooza is not a regulated arena. So we'll get the jetpack, 6,000 bolts, and 4 more raritanium to use for upgrades after we beat it. So let's go do that, shall we? I think I'm going to use the fusion grenade for this one, actually, to get it a little bit of extra experience. Again, I'm not too worried about it. It'll get to V3 without too many problems, but we'll definitely use the Terrorizer and the fusion grenades, because Terrorizer's nice for the shield. It's the same boss that we fought on the other planet with more health, so...
Setting fire to pretty much everything.
Well, that seems like a fairly wide crowd. Good luck, man. Hopefully it all works out for you. I'm sure you'll find a girlfriend. Ooh, some more fusion grenades. Nice. One thing you'll notice about a lot of the boss fights in this game is that the battle arenas have respawning ammo packs, so they'll actually give you a whole bunch of ammo that you are missing if you just break stuff, so that's nice. Also, a new thing, by the way, I just did it right there without even thinking about it. You can actually double jump while doing a strafing side flip in this game, unlike in previous games in the series, so yeah. It's pretty nice, actually. It's a pretty utilitarian thing to do. Makes it a lot easier to jump over stuff if you accidentally do a strafe jump, so. Yeah, we can kind of get around his shield this way by side strafing him while using the Nightmare Box, so that's nice. And it seems like we're getting a decent amount of fusion grenade ammo back, so that's good. The interrupts are also nice. I'm not even worried about the thugs. I'll shoot them if they're in my way, I guess. Like that. I can't believe I hit that guy from so far away. Just call me Michael Jordan. That didn't spook him. He must have, his shield must have given him some slight damage resistance to that. Alright, we are already upgraded on that, so I guess it's time for the repulsor. Let's just fill him full of lead before he gets off any of his other attacks. There you go. Easy as that. Not bad. I was gonna say, and I think all the thugs go away once you defeat the boss, so don't even worry about them if they're shooting at you. It just adds a little challenge, so. You just straight up get a jetpack. Okay, yeah, they actually just give you a jetpack for this one, so you can fly through the air with the greatest of ease. If you have fuel. We'll talk about that in a minute. Is that an eye or just a weird chest design? It could be an eye. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I would say it's probably a chest design, but it could be an eye. It could be a generator of some kind, too. So, but we've won the Bronze Cup, and we get the jetpack, some bolts, and some raritanium. And there you go.
Congratulations, Space Rat. You win a brand new jetpack upgrade.
Cool. So yes, we can use the jetpack if we find a fueling station for it at certain GrumbleNet jetpack areas. Basically, you can't just fly freely wherever you want, unfortunately. You have to find a jetpack fueling station first, and then you can fly where you want. So this game has 3 cups in it, the Bronze Cup, the Silver Cup, and the Gold Cup. We just won the Bronze Cup, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to split these up a little bit. So we're going to win a cup, and then we're going to go do a story planet. Then we'll win the Silver Cup, so we're going to go to Silox next. Then we're going to win the Silver Cup, and then we'll go to the story planet after Silox. Then we'll win the Gold Cup, and then we'll go to the last planet in the game, because the game will practically be over at that point. So that's what I meant when I said that this game would only take like 2.5, 3 streams to beat, because it's really not that long. But we do, however, have enough money now
Said something about planet Silox.
to buy Mr. Zircon. So let's get him so he can help us with the investigation first. Excuse me. I got you plays giving out 100 summons today only. What name? Is it worth it though? Dragalia lost, and yes, 100 free summons is so damn generous. That's nice for you. That is a lot of summons, so hopefully it works out for you, that you get, you know, some stuff that you want out of it. But yeah, we have enough bolts now. Let's buy Mr. Zircon. And after this, I only have to buy one more armor upgrade for the rest of the game, and that's it for bolts. We really don't need bolts for much of anything for the rest of the game now. And the armor that we're going to buy, I think, is only like 80,000 bolts. So, yeah, we only needed like 100 and... What would that be, like 150,000? So 10, 15 is 25, and 20 is 45. 10 for the armor is 55, and then 80 is 135,000 bolts across the whole game. So that's not a lot. All right, Mr. Zircon, let's grab you. Fill out our arsenal, complete it for a little while anyway, and then let's do a little bit of upgrading with all this raritanium we got. One reason why I wanted to pick up Mr. Zircon that'll be pretty nice, he doesn't have access to it right now, but as you upgrade him, he'll gain access to raritanium nodes, just like how the Temporal Repulsor has it. And as long as he's out, even if you don't have his weapon highlighted, he'll give you a chance for more raritanium drops. So basically, this weapon has raritanium drops, this weapon has raritanium drops, this one can distract enemies and has a lot of health. So these 3 are really going to be where our arsenal it kind of kicks off. Although the fusion grenade will see some use as we get it up to V3 because it's really powerful at V3. So they'll all help us out a lot. And the dual Omni Blasters, there is a use for them. We just haven't really gotten access to it just yet. So we'll get there. I think if I remember right, Mr. Zircon's Raritanium upgrades are hidden in these nodes, actually. So let's grab one of them for him now. So 4, 5, 6. Yes, yeah, it is actually right in there. So there's some Raritanium you can get for him. It's not much. It's only an 8% chance, but add that on top of the Temporal Repulsor's chance, and you've got a decent chance of getting some Raritanium. So it works. You got spooked by the same limited units twice in one 10-fold summon. Oh, God. Hopefully that doesn't keep happening. Knock on wood to make sure it doesn't keep happening for you. We could buy the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4. I kind of want to get some stuff for the dual Omni Blasters, though. Mostly some ammo. Each ammo node for the dual Omni Blasters gives 2 ammo to it, so that's kind of helpful. We could go 1, 2... We got 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... I'd need 9 to get that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'd need 8 just to get that one on the bottom right, so... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd also need 9 to get the one on the top right, so I don't quite have enough yet. So... I really don't need to upgrade the Ghoul or the Terrorizer's health right now because it does pretty good even for the low amount of health that it currently has. So I guess I'll just... Let's get Mr. Zircon fully upgraded, actually. I don't really need the bolts, but this might be another Raritanium thing here, so... And it is, so that's actually pretty helpful. And now we got 3 left that we can use on something else, so... I could use it on the fusion grenade to get it a little extra oomph. Blast radius, core charge. Direct hits will cause additional damage. Those are pretty nice, actually, so I think I might... And actually, I can get this upgrade if I do this, so let's do 1, 2, 3 and see what that is. That is sticky grenades, timed explosives that stick to nearby surfaces or enemies. And that's actually not too bad, because right now it's based on contact with enemies, or proximity to enemies, but now it has access to sticky grenades, so now it even will stick to enemies or surfaces, and that'll make it easier for it to deliver its payload because, well, it won't bounce past them, so that's pretty good for it. Yeah, we'll just keep slowly upgrading our things. We'll have enough Raritanium, ideally, by the end of the game to get these 3 upgraded all the way. The fusion grenade, I would love to get it fully upgraded, same with the dual Omni Blasters, but we might not have enough Raritanium to fully upgrade the both of them by the end game. Because it's pretty rare in this one, as I've made fairly clear. But yeah, that's pretty much it for bolts now. We really won't need to use bolts for too much else after this. However, we do have a little bit of a mission on planet Psylocke. We need to intercept the Progs before they can use the Dimensionator to summon even more Nethers, in this case in a more populated area. Will we be able to stop them and destroy the Dimensionator before they can use it to wreak more havoc on the galaxy? Find out on the next episode of Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus, the stream edition, which will be happening tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Let me read chat and then we'll head off. You need to go back to your gacha games. It's been a while. See, I never really got into gacha. The closest I ever got to gacha was when we played the loot box game in Digital Devil Saga 2, and that was already enough for me. So. Finally, you beat the trial fight for the current event. 45-second clear time. Awful time, but I don't care. Oh, boy. They have a Walmart Dimensionator. How? Vendra's pretty smart. She's kind of a combination of Ratchet's ambition for finding the Lombaxes and Clank's, well, brain, for lack of a better word. She's learned a whole lot when she was at that orphanage. She got her access to a whole bunch of books that would allow her to understand how to create that sort of stuff. Apparently she's as smart as some of the Lombaxes. So that's why she's very dangerous and needs to be put in jail, because she's being evil with that knowledge instead of being good with it. But we'll worry about that on the next episode. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care and have a good one. Gonna have to remember, I'm pretty sure Daylight Savings Time ends in the United States on Sunday. I'm gonna have to start staying Eastern Standard Time again. Boy, that's gonna take a little bit of getting used to.